This podcast is part of Another Happy Studios,
the home of podcasts with passion.
Hello and welcome once again to Talking Pictures Podcast. I'm your host David and joined with me, as always, my co-host Brian. Brian, how are you today?
I remember, David.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. What have you forgotten from Dead Man's Chest that you're bringing up now? Or are you going all the way back to Curse of the Black Pearl?
No. It's what I forgot to mention in Dead Man's Chest.
Brilliant, okay.
The somewhat defeat of Davy Jones in that movie. Because when the villain of that movie, villain of every movie, any movie, does not die, whether they continue on to the sequel or not, they have to have some form of defeat, you know, where the protagonist one-ups them.
Yeah.
I really like the defeat Davy Jones had in Dead Man's Chest, where he watches as his pet, the Kraken, took down the Black Pearl and Jack Sparrow along with it. And then now he's satisfied with our debt is settled.
Yeah.
And then
it's also this moment of he thinks he's won, he's gotten the chest back, everything like that. And he has to go and he's like, hold on a minute now. Open the chest, I want to see it.
Yeah.
And then it's empty and he doesn't know where it is because Sparrow didn't have it. Yeah. So he knows, oh crap, it's not over. And he gives this wail, and it was something I didn't bring up as well. I love this little mannerism that Davy Jones has where he doesn't say Jack Sparrow, he says Jack Sparrow.
And I also like the part to him that when he gets really emotional, to say the least, he spits water.
Yeah.
Like he spits water as if he's got no control over it, because as comes with the curse of being damned, you can't control how much is inside your body or what is outside of it.
Yeah.
What happens, and there's water lingering inside of him because he's somewhat aquatic now.
Yeah.
I just like that defeat, and his wailing he gives off, it scares all his crewmen like away, like fuck.
No one wants to mess with him now.
No. We better leave the captain to himself for a bit. But yeah, like that, and I forgot to bring it up, so I bring it up here.
Brilliant. Well, Brian, I want to welcome you. I want to welcome all our listeners to our third episode now in the Pirates of the Caribbean trilogy. We are here today to talk about Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure that you are subscribing to us on your favourite podcast app of choice. We have new episodes every single Wednesday, so to never miss an episode, you can make sure you're subscribed to us. You can follow us on all of our social medias. We also have another podcast, which is Saturday Morning Cartoon Club. We're coming up on our second episode of that, so make sure that if you haven't already, subscribe to us there to never miss an episode. All of the links will always be in the description down below. But, like I said there, we're here today to talk about Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. The Caribbean, if you can believe it. That's where they are. And have you got a story as to where you watched this for the first time?
I do.
You do?
I
okay.
do.
Well, can I tell you mine first?
Sure.
No idea.
What?
No idea.
What do you mean?
I have no idea where I watched this the first time. I don't even remember where I was. I just remember watching it. I remember seeing it like on a cinema screen, but I couldn't tell you where. But I can tell you for a fact that the story you're about to tell us is one of my favourite stories of going to the cinema, because I find it so funny.
There's a bit of a theme going on literally with these three Pirates of the Caribbean films on how I first seen them in my childhood. I recall seeing the first one, I recall seeing the second one. I believe obviously then I've told you how I saw the third one.
But please enlighten me again. As I said, it's one of my favourite stories.
Yeah. So
not for you, not for little Brian.
I was thinking back as I was watching this movie for this recording. I was thinking back here, somewhere around here is where I was first introduced.
Yeah,
and then I could see it a second time. So my mother takes me, my brother, and my two sisters to IMC Cinema in Dundalk. Dundalk, yeah, and I can't remember what my anticipation was because I'm 8.
2007, so 10.
Okay, alright, Jesus, call me old, why don't you? So I think we were in a bit of a rush, so we get our tickets, we get our popcorn, we're running to it. I'm the only film fanatic, but I was too young to lead the charge, so my brother did. Did he fuck?
Did he fuck is right.
My brother brought us into the...
What your brother did was technically correct.
No, it was not correct.
He brought you into the cinema that was playing Pirates of the Caribbean.
And when we walked in, my first reaction was, oh, we missed the start of it.
Yeah.
Because they're already in the middle of the battle with the Flying Dutchman, with the two ships firing cannons with each
In
other.
the whirlpool.
In the whirlpool, and then Davy Jones is already battling Jack Sparrow, and I'm thinking, a lot's happened here for the first, like...
Jack died
first few
in the
minutes.
last one.
Yeah, how did we get to here from the last movie when we're only a few minutes maybe late?
Yeah.
It's boggling me. And then, not to get ahead of myself, but the movie, that battle concludes to the point where I'm going, oh, I wonder who the next villain now is going to come along in the next, like, 2 hours of this movie or something like that.
I've got the whole movie ahead of me, really. Yeah.
And then cut the black credits play.
Fuck.
What the fuck? And I think we all said that. Sorry for the cursing, but we all reacted like, what the hell's going on here?
What's good is you didn't walk in the third act. You walked in the third act of the third act. Like, you walked in at the end of the film.
And then
you walk in as Frodo is there with the ring over Mount Doom, and you're like, "Wow, how did they get here?"
So technically, my brother walked us into the no, not technically. He fucking did walk us into the wrong auditorium, and when the screen, we all walked in here in this room. With everyone else having watched the movie, everyone else in the screening room, and someone's going in there. Why is this family walking in here
for the end?
Yeah, and it went after nearly 2.5 hours having passed by.
Yeah,
this is a 3-hour movie.
Yeah,
I'm
missed all of it.
I'm shocked that it's this long. I forgot this movie is endgame level. In terms of runtime.
Agree. I forgot how long this movie is, and while watching it, I'm like, it's a long movie, but I feel like nothing happens.
Yeah,
like, not a whole lot actually happens comparatively to the first and second movie.
We'll get to that later.
Yeah.
But my story doesn't end.
Oh, okay.
My brother, my mother walks us out, and lo and behold, there is another auditorium, a screening room, with the name Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End labelled on front of it. And so we all walk in there, and it's pretty much after the we're good and lost scene, and we're in the locker.
Yeah.
And so
you missed the opening act.
We missed the entire first act of the movie, and we started watching the movie from the locker scene all the way to around the start of the third battle, and then we started getting to screens where to scenes where we've already seen from having walked in to the latter half of the first movie, and then we've been here at the cinema long enough.
We know how it ends.
Yeah, so we better go. And I'm all walking out, and I'm thinking, whose fault is this? And so, I remember saying, Daniel.
Call him out. Fuck him.
Yeah.
That is, I've never heard of someone watching, I'm going to watch a movie, we're going to watch the third act, followed by the second act. I'm not going to watch the first act.
I'm going to wait like 8 months to watch the first act.
Yeah. See, how did we get here? Yeah. How do we move on from here?
I think I even remember when I first saw the whole movie from the start. So, yeah.
That's mad. That is actually mad.
Of all the stories I've told on my first viewings of the Pirates of the Caribbean films, the trilogy, this one takes the biscuit.
Yeah, 100%. It's not an ideal way to watch the movie at all.
But I did make the comparison there in that story. This movie is the end game of Pirates of the Caribbean. This is the climatic event of this. This is the end game. This is the Deathly Hallows Part 2. This is the Return of the King.
Yeah, I agree. I think that it definitely feels as though it's the cap off to the trilogy. It also feels like a well-rounded end to almost all of the characters.
Especially that part. Everyone is in it. Anyone who should be there is there. No one is absent in this movie whatsoever. And it not just makes it yin and yang to Dead Man's Chest, to World's End, it also reattaches itself to the first movie, which is a tester really, to test how this franchise would do, and lo and behold, it's a great trilogy. And even though this movie could be perceived as the second half of Dead Man's Chest, it's its own entity.
Yeah,
and I mean that because of how expansive it is, with the Shipwreck Cove and the Brethren Court, the Pirate Lords, as well as the introduction of Singapore and the Asian pirates, the Chinese pirates. And
the proper full introduction of Calypso and that whole aspect of it, really.
Yeah, it was only teased in the last movie, and now all of a sudden it's part of the big act. And I'm trying to pay attention to the first time in this movie it introduces, or the reveal of, oh, she's Calypso. Yeah.
Well, you know what? We kind of said it there in the last episode with the Return of Barbossa, that it's never really fully explained. But I think that watching it this time, I think I finally got it, that the reason why Barbossa is brought back is by Tia Dalma to release her, and so she can be Calypso. That's why he is so adamant about releasing Calypso, and that's why he goes and brings it to the Brethren Court, and you know, because he's fulfilling his end of the bargain. He gets life because
he made an unbreakable vow.
Yeah, pretty much. Like she even shows him, like, don't forget, I'm the one that brought you into this world. I can take you out of it, and his life is hinging on this. You know, because I felt as a kid, I was like, okay, what was the point in this at all? It didn't quite click with me as a kid that, oh, she's the one that's causing the whirlpool. She is the sea.
Yeah.
And it just kind of went over my head as a kid. But I think this time around, I realized, because of how much he was investing into freeing Calypso, that's his end of the bargain.
Yeah. As opposed to
just, Barbossa's back.
Yeah, or playing hero. Gotta tell you, man knows how to walk down some stairs.
He does, yeah. He gets the same kind of introduction in this movie as well.
Yeah.
And, you know, Barbossa is just, I love him. He's a villain that you don't even love to hate. It's just, I love him. And he's for me, the epitome of what it is to be a pirate. I think his whole look, his whole aesthetic is like he's dirty without feeling like greasy or anything like that. It's like he just has a dirtiness about him. Like his whole outfit, his hat, the fact he's got Jack the monkey, like, and he has what Jack, I feel as though, very rarely has. It's the respect of his crew. Like, yes, Jack has the likes of Marty and Cotton and Gibbs, but that's 3 men. Whereas I feel like Barbossa, his crew will always fight for him.
Yeah, but there's a lot of fear in that, I believe. There has to be a lot of fear.
But I think that comes as a part of being a captain as well, is that you have to be a bit ruthless. You have to be feared. Like, Jack wants to be loved, but Barbossa is okay with being feared because it's the same results, but it's better results for him.
Yeah. I want to talk about this movie somewhat character by character. However, I don't want to miss anything by sort of going through like the settings of the characters and the settings of the locations, really, because there's so much in this movie I really want to like.
Well, we're on a Barbossa. Do you want to just continue with Barbossa?
I want to talk about the opening.
And then go back to Barbossa.
Yeah, well, I kind of want to go into the opening and then Singapore, really.
That's fine, yeah, you could do that if you want. I think that this opening is one of my favourite openings to a film. I think just generally, I love the... And we kind of mentioned it at the beginning of not the beginning, we mentioned it last week as well, that Dead Man's Chest feels a lot darker. This is so dark compared to the swashbuckling fun of Curse of the Black Pearl. And it's just like, it starts with a mass execution of hundreds of people, it seems. And you just are getting this, like, these hangings, and it's like 10 people at a time, 10 people at a time, 10 people at a time, and then the most haunting image of the child coming up and he looks up at the noose and he can't reach it, and they bring him up a barrel to stand on, and then the song that they sing, which was composed for this movie, that's not actually a shanty, it's made for this movie, and it's like haunting, and when everyone starts, it's the kid who just is slowly singing it, and the people that are up there at the gallows, and they start singing along as well, and then followed by all of the people that are lining up to go to the gallows, and they start shaking their chains as well and singing along. It's like haunting. And then when your man goes to Beckett, I know I'm just basically describing the scene, but when he goes up to Beckett and he's like, "Sir, they're singing," and it's just the first shot of Beckett, and he's like, "Finally," and it's like, what do you mean finally? Is this your intention, is to get them to sing, like to get them to sing this song that apparently is kind of the beginning of the call for the Brethren Court to come together? It's like haunting. And then
the beacon,
it's like the beacon is lit, and you get this moment where it's like, "Never shall we die," and then boom, and they pull the lever, and they all drop, and it's cut to black, and you're like, fuck, this is like haunting. This is it's something else.
You're right. This is thematically more darker, but it's not as gruesome as Dead Man's Chest.
Yeah, I think it deals with much darker themes and more adult themes, but the gruesomeness of it, I think that you're probably right. Dead Man's Chest has it out.
I like the idea that their singing is their resistance, their fight.
That's all they've got.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
all they've got, and they're gonna hone in on that. You know, to the point that they're scaring some of the military men who are pointing their bayonets at them.
Yeah.
They're, like, was taking a step back or two.
It's like once they start singing, I believe that they would have continued singing until the last person was hung.
Yeah.
Like they're not going to stop.
Do you know what's awful? Is the guy who's reading up the chart, the statement.
Yeah.
To say that to speed up this process, we are going to
Remove your right to a fair trial. Remove your right to a jury. All the like removing people's rights. Mass assembly.
Yeah.
You can't join together. Anyone that is convicted of piracy, anyone who is suspected to be a pirate,
Yeah.
anyone who's conversed with a pirate, anything like that, it's like any kind of association, and you're done. This feels as though with that we're moving, and kind of Cutler Beckett says it as well in the second movie, is, you know, we're moving into a bit more of a civilized age. The world is moving on. The world is getting smaller. And Jack says it as well. It's like the world hasn't gotten any smaller. There's just less in it.
Yeah.
And we're moving to a time now where pirates are becoming obsolete. Like they're not, like being a pirate is rare now.
Oh, but
This is like,
look at what pirates are today.
this is like, yeah, that's true. This is like, I'm gonna jump on the bandwagon here, your bandwagon, with your comparisons last week. If Curse of the Black Pearl is the prequels, At World's End is A New Hope in terms of like, oh, the Jedi are gone.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like it's rare to come across a Jedi.
That is interesting. Jesus. Now I know what the legacy sequel of Pirates of the Caribbean is going to look like.
Oh, pirates are back. Jack is he's gonna throw his compass away.
I really enjoyed the Singapore entire sequence.
Tell me why.
Why? I love Singapore because it's the reintroduction of our heroes pulling a job. It feels like a heist in some ways, and it's between characters who every one of them, if they weren't there, they would be missed. So
Yeah.
who opens this now? Elizabeth singing the
same
tune,
song,
the
yeah.
same song, and then she's in an environment on her own. She's near like vulnerable, and then she's confronted by those Chinese guys and the pirates, and they're all hiding from the Navy.
From the East India Trading Company.
Yeah, such a name, the East Indian Trading Company.
It was a real company.
Was it?
Yeah.
Really? Interesting. Shame what happened to their leader. But like they're there to see the pirate lord there, it was a nice introduction for Sao Fang. But I've of all the new introductions of characters, he was somewhat of the least interesting. There's nothing much to him other than him playing a role. Like he's somewhat of the third antagonist in this movie. But
Yeah.
but
And it doesn't need a third antagonist.
no,
either.
no, definitely doesn't. But I do like the on-screen comparisons and interactions between the likes of him and even Barbossa, who, like I said, legendary introduction, and then just to show that Elizabeth doesn't need anyone to protect her.
No, she's fully embraced what we were talking about last week. You know, she's fully embraced the pirate lifestyle.
Yeah.
Jack calls her a pirate, and here she is now. And she's doing stuff that's impressing Barbossa.
Yeah.
Like when they're taking off all their weapons, and she's pulling out stuff that even he didn't know about.
Wouldn't Barbossa be proud?
Yeah, this is the little poppet that was on the boat the first time, and like, oh, you know parlay, do you? And
Yeah.
then she's like, the guy, you know, the code is more of a set of guidelines anyway.
And
you
now
know?
he's looking at her and treating her like they are equals.
Yeah,
It
absolutely.
is fascinating to see that development, even though it seems like it's not acknowledged.
Well, what I like about Singapore is, and I like this as an introduction for the movie as well, is that we're just going to drop you straight in. We don't know how long it's been since Dead Man's Chest is over.
And we don't see them conjure up the plan of what they have
No,
to do.
we just jump in mid-adventure.
Like, look at Will's introduction.
Where is Will? It's like, what's going on? Where's Will?
How
Where
long
is
has
he?
he
And guess what?
how long has he been holding his breath?
Yeah, because he was not, they didn't dunk him down in the scene. He's been down there for the length of the scene, and this scene's going on for a little bit of time. So
If you're a kid that likes to hold your breath when you see characters in movies go underwater,
start this one from when they enter that room to when Will comes up.
what do you make of the fact that it's a funny scene to see Elizabeth remove all her weapons, and she tosses like a grenade as if it's a softball, and then she reaches around to pull a large melon of a cannon.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden she's ordered to remove her trousers. What do you make of that?
It's an unfortunate thing that movies, and I was going to say used to do, but we still do it, where women's sexuality is used as a joke, and that's what it is. It's like, oh yeah, we want to see you naked, you know. And back in the day, you know, the woman taking off her clothes, and by back in the day I mean in these pirate times, you know, it's like, oh
Early
yeah,
2000s.
all we want to see is you naked. So it's like, any opportunity, it's like, yes please. Like they do it in the thing as well, as like in the first movie, it's like, oh yeah, you'll be dining with the captain, and if you don't, you'll be dining with the crew naked. And then they do it in the second movie as well, where they find the dress, and oh yeah, it's probably some stowaway, and sure, look, the dress is here, so she's probably running around naked. And so they all start running frantically looking for her. Like it's an unfortunate joke that they've done 3 times. Essentially.
Yeah, pretty much. Look, fine bit of stuff, that fucking Keira Knightley.
She's gorgeous. Absolutely.
Absolute fine specimen.
My king.
Pure beaut. Yes, I'd vote for her. But it's not just them as well. It's also the guys. And
the crew.
And like I said, right, there's 5 of them, and it's always these 5. There's no extras lingering. There's no excess waste. There's no like, who are you for a day in this movie? No, it's Gibbs, it's Cotton, it's Marty, and it's Rageshi and Pintel.
Yeah,
like those guys. I love the way that it's Pintel who doesn't need like a cone or like a shell to wear on his head because he's already bald.
Yeah,
like
he's round anyway.
He can get away with it.
Yeah.
But I like that they have a plan to stick to, and they're doing it just to rescue Jack as well. All right, and like I said. No, like you said, we're dropped into this. It's like, what are they there to do? We don't know. And
the plan is fully in action.
Yeah,
we don't know exactly what it is.
But I like that they're hiding in the underground. They're taking out the guys, especially that big one. And then I like that we're presented with something like they have to get into this room, and the next time we see them, they've already knocked everyone out, and Marty's already sitting on top of the larger than life guy with a shovel at hand, ready to knock him out. And while that's all happening, and the important stuff is going upstairs, when Rageshi goes to look up underneath the floorboards, he's
again an unfortunate joke at the expense of the woman. But,
but then
the joke is the other way. It's the joke is on the other man.
Yeah,
where he's like, and you know what's really funny actually about that? I don't know if you noticed, but he's looking up with his wooden eye. It's his fake eye that's looking up, and he's like, "Go on, look up there." And because Elizabeth moves and a big sumo guy comes up and stands in the spot, your man Ragetti, is it? Or Pintel. He looks up and he sees just a big sumo guy.
And his reaction is like, ah!
Oh, what are you doing?
Yeah. But you look at Ragetti, he's going, ah!
Yeah.
Thumbs up, and I was like...
Because he thinks he's looking up Elizabeth's skirt.
Well, Pintel thinks he's looking up at this fucking guy, so what's he thinking then? I just think it's funny.
Yeah.
Like, that actually got me laughing quite hard.
They are quite funny as a duo. I really do like them. Even later on when they're in Davy Jones' locker, and they're going to flip the boat, and he's like, no, look, we'll tie ourselves to the mast upside down, so when the boat is flipped over, we'll be right way up.
Great thinking.
Yeah, it is great thinking for 10 seconds, and then when they flip back over and then they're upside down and they just have to stay there for the whole scene.
I love movie magic where you cut away from them doing nothing, saying we're going to tie ourselves to the thing upside down.
Yeah. How did they do that?
How? That's not conceivably, that's not possible. It's physically not possible.
Yeah.
But movie magic, right? The back and forth between our heroes and Sao Fang, they have to rescue Jack. Why did they have to rescue Jack? The 9 pieces of 8. All stuff that I may not have paid attention. I definitely didn't pay attention as a kid. I am paying attention now. I still don't really know why it's called 9 pieces of 8. Like, I get it's 9 pieces, but why 8? I don't know.
I think it's just like Gibbs says, it's just a cool name.
But 8. 9 pieces of...
Are there 8 pirate lords?
There's 9.
Okay, I don't know.
There's 9
I think
pieces.
it's just that it's a cool name.
It's a cool name, but why is it a numerical name?
Like Gibbs says, I think the 9 pieces of whatever we happen to have in our pockets at the time doesn't sound as cool. But 9 pieces of 8.
But 8, why 8? It could have been any other word that's not a number, do you know? Because 9's a number, you know? Why is it... why not 9 pieces of 10?
Because that would seem as though it's incomplete. Where's the 10th piece? This is an extra piece. I think it just sounds cool, Brian. I think you're putting too much stock into something that is made just to sound cool.
No. But do you know what I really liked? I think I actually remember seeing this in the promotional material on TV before seeing it in cinema. Mm-hmm. Or sorry, not seeing it in cinema. Because we walked in late. Mm-hmm. In the wrong screening. When
piece of 8 is a Spanish currency. The original idea...
you're just completely ignoring me.
The original idea was to split a piece of 8 into 9 pieces. One for each of the pirate lords. But, like they said there, they were skint at the time, so none of them had any currency. So they were going to split one piece of currency into 9 pieces. And the currency is called an 8. So it's 9 pieces of an 8.
Well, thank you for...
Yeah. Now, what were you saying? I wasn't listening.
Not at all.
Not at all.
No, well then you're going to have to listen to the episode.
I will. But continue.
Continuing.
I'll pick it up. Context clues.
Continuing. Oh no, it's completely separate. But, oh yes, now I remember. Watching the ads on TV, I hear one of the characters, I didn't know Sao Fang at the time, grab the guy because the ink on his back
I never noticed that as well as
yeah.
a kid either. I was like, why does he pick him? He just looked at the tattoo. I never actually noticed that it was a running tattoo.
Yeah.
That it's not actually ink on there. It's just, well, it's not a tattoo. It's just ink. He's drawn it on.
Blended in. He says, drop your weapons or I kill the man. And Barbossa's reacting, kill him, he's not our man. Mm-hmm. Like, kill him. Like,
yeah.
I don't care what...
He's like, do it. I don't care.
I don't care why this situation is appearing and stuff, but you can kill him anyway.
Yeah.
But I remember seeing that in ads and like, yeah, that was funny. Also, how many takes would it have taken for Elizabeth and Barbossa to
two swords that shoot up through the floor
at the same time?
Yeah,
very good.
I do love the fact that he says, "I assure you, our intentions are purely." What's he? I don't know.
They're innocent. We don't
innocent.
Yeah.
As 2 swords fly up out of the floor, and they grab both of them. Like they're that was like almost that's the cue.
Yeah.
You know, it's like our intentions are purely innocent. And then as soon as you say innocent, that's when the swords are going to come through the floor.
Pirates. I do like that, you know, then they have a common enemy with the East Indian Trading Company with that battle. I want to ask you, what did you make of the 2 Chinese service girls?
I think I read a comic when I was younger with why they giggled about Jack's name.
I am well informed just by Will mentioning his name and them giggling.
Yeah,
that's enough for me to understand why.
It's a situation where it's like, oh, your reputation precedes you, and it's like, you say Jack Sparrow, a girl giggles, you go, okay, I understand what happened here.
Yeah. But that slimy, squeamish, dirty, foul man who's probably also a rapist, Mercer is his name.
He talked about him last week. He killed the governor's captain on the ship.
He's Beckett's right-hand man.
Yeah. You know, I don't have a lot to say about him. Obviously, he's in that scene. That's why you bring him up. And he's kind of listening now. And I'll be honest with you, the movie does get a little bit bogged down, I think, with how many like double crossings and trying to figure out exactly everyone's motivation.
Yeah.
But what I will say is, I was really satisfied when he died at the end. I think he gets a great... Like, he's not even a villain. He's just a character. He is a villain.
He's a minor villain.
Yeah.
Especially with the screen time. But you see, first of all, when he shot that service girl, and her sister, like her twin sister, I'm taking it, she's your twin sister. She does look an awful lot like her. Like, I mean that.
Yeah.
She reacted as if she's now on a quest for vengeance. No. He shoots her as well. No mercy.
No mercy for Mercer.
I forgot that he does die the way he does.
And it's a great death. Killed by Davy Jones. And it's not
a sword to the throat.
No, he's strangled by his tentacles and they go in his eyes and his nose and it's like ugh.
You know, you're delighted that they blur away his red up bloated face.
Yeah.
But like, I love when Davy Jones does that. He does it when he sees that all his men were dead, and he's like, oh, you're unprotected now. And I like that Davy Jones covered him. So he shielded him from getting blasted with the cannon. And okay, great.
Because he wanted to do it.
Yeah, because I can take you out now. And he does it with a smile as well. It's like, I told you this was coming.
Yeah.
Because he said to him that the Dutchman's under my command now. So, yeah, for now. And now, time's up.
I like the fact that Davy Jones, this movie, that he's not so we talked about the fact that he's not the primary antagonist in this. He's a secondary antagonist.
Yeah.
Which I find so interesting, to go from the main antagonist in the second movie to the the second antagonist. But I find it so interesting that he is portrayed as so much less grand in this movie, that some scenes that are happening, like, even characters aren't as scared of him anymore.
Nope.
There's a scene, like, middle of the film, where Will is there having tea with Beckett, and he's just not scared of Davy Jones. And Davy Jones, like, knocks his tea out of his hands, and he's like, I wasn't finished that.
Yeah.
Like, there's no respect there for Davy Jones, this mythical creature. And there's some scenes as well.
The fact that you're staring at the devil himself, the devil of the scene.
Yeah, like, it's just nuts to go from...
He's no near different than just another scary pirate.
That's it. Yeah, he kind of is demoted to that, isn't he? And that's by consequence of Beckett being the main villain.
Beckett being a representative of the real world.
Yeah, it's just like, there's scenes where Jones is there and he's in the background of scenes. Like when they take over, when the Dutchman takes over Sao Feng's ship, and it's Elizabeth and Norrington talking.
They have a bit of a grand introduction when they meet together. Yeah. Whereas now, and when Davy Jones is introduced, he's already just standing there in the scene, like offside, shouting.
Yeah,
as if he's
not getting a close up or anything like that. It's just like, oh yeah, Davy Jones is also here. It's like he has become Beckett's lapdog in the same way that the Kraken was Davy Jones's lapdog.
In a way, yeah. I like it. I think it makes Davy Jones more, or at least appear more, reckless and erratic. Like, there is nothing holding him back. Remember when he'd take his time and he'll soft speak to a dying sailor and offer him salvation,
immortality,
salvation and immortality by service to his ship, as if this is an opportunity of greatness. Yeah,
you should count yourself lucky that I'm offering this to you.
Yeah, but he'll sell that as well. Now, that's not the case at all. He'll walk past and he'll just order, kill him.
Yeah,
like he's
he even gives it to Norrington, and Norrington just spits in his face and stabs him.
And that's another thing as well. He says a lot. Do you fear death? To nearly every character. He says it to a lot of the characters, and I always like each character's unique response to it, you know? I do like it in a way. But in the Singapore climax of it, the whole battle of it all, the Marty with the big cannon, when he fires out, he really fires.
You know
backwards.
who's two characters in that sequence that I quite like? Jack the Monkey and Cotton
the Pirate. Yeah,
Cotton's Parrot.
Cotton's Parrot.
Yeah.
That's a team up I never thought I needed. That reminds me of the two little mini Transformers in those movies.
But you know what I do like about it?
What?
I like the fact that they're working together, but then later on, once they leave the locker, it's Jack pulls out a gun on the parrot. When they're all doing like the showdown, they're all pointing at each other. He goes and does it to the parrot, and he's like, "What?"
If these movies are made today,
he goes, "What? Parlay?"
he does go parlay, doesn't he?
It's very funny. I love it. It's very funny.
But then, if these Pirates of the Caribbean movies were being made today, those two would be getting their own little special.
They would, a Disney Plus special, CGI.
But it could work. But that's a real monkey. That's Jack working around, and like that, Jack does a little something, and you know, Jack could do almost anything that would be not near as effective in contributing to the cause. Barbossa will still thank him. I thank you, Jack. Like, he'll thank him.
He loves that monkey.
He fucking loves him. And he gives him a peanut and everything. Oh, that you daddy's boy. I just like that so much.
Yeah.
So
maybe that's what's missing from the other two movies.
Maybe
Jack the monkey's not there for Barbossa.
Maybe just. But great performer, that monkey. I don't think we've talked about Jack the monkey enough. Great performer. And that parrot, when it's not CGI, great performer as well. Think about those two actors who have to perform on set in a movie environment behind the scenes with all the actors and all the stage setup, and you have to perform with an animal on your shoulder. Yeah, it's great. What would you rather have, the monkey or the parrot?
I think that the parrot would be a lot easier because it's very still. Yeah. Whereas if I'm Jeffrey Rush, the monkey would be climbing on me. You know, and that can be just a bit of a... Not that I'm afraid of a monkey, but just like having it climbing, you might just you might shudder a little bit.
But it'd be more fun.
It would be more fun. Of course I want the monkey. Yeah. Like, I want the monkey, but
the parrot,
if I'm acting...
The parrot looks cool, but the monkey's fun. That's the way I describe it.
Yeah, the parrot gives off much more of a
Pirate.
pirate.
Yeah. Very
Pirate
much so.
and the pirate, but the monkey, I do like the monkey.
I didn't forget Jack pulling the gun, but the fact he pulls it on Cotton the pirate is like, those two are like Jack or they're like Barbossa and Jack, or Will and Jack teaming up together, and yeah.
But they'll betray each other at the first opportunity.
I really do like that. And even when Cotton like flies away, abandon ship, and then he comes back.
He comes back at the end. We did it.
and Cotton smiles. The actor, he smiles seeing him back. Even seeing that actor, I mentioned him in the last movie, but I just like seeing that actor be there. The fact that he's a name on their casting list.
Yeah.
He's a name on the call sheet. That, okay, for this scene, we're shooting the 5 guys in the water, and right, we need Graham McNally, we need Martin Kleber, who plays Marty. We need the 2 guys, Rigetti and Patel, and we need the South African actor who plays Cotton, who has no lines of dialogue. I like that so much. You don't get that really anymore.
No,
you really don't get
a good cast of side characters
where you'll know their face, but you don't know their name.
Yeah.
Especially for a franchise as big as this. But yeah, I like the whole sequence of how you have to get to the land of the dead.
Oh yeah,
You have to get lost first.
You have to get lost, and what was it that Barbossa says? Like, if we don't know where we're going, we can't know where we are.
Yeah.
To find somewhere where we don't know where we need to be. Like it's
He says it cooler than Loki said it in like Thor 2, where he says, "If it was easy, everyone could do it."
Exactly. Yeah. It's just some good dialogue to not actually fully explain it.
Yeah. I like the Frozen setting where everyone was freezing to death and your man's
toe comes off. Yeah, Jesus.
he tries to put it back together. Gibbs telling his story, like the story master that he is, and then he's interrupted by Pintel, and it's like, I'm the fucking story master here. I'm the one who tells the tale. Then it kind of makes sense, that it's Barbossa who has to guide the crew to the land of the dead. You will need a captain who knows those waters.
Yeah.
Anytime I might be forcing this a little bit, but when they see that waterfall come and everyone's like, quick, we have to turn the ship around, it's like, belay that, we'll sail straight and through. He's treating this as if this is familiar. Yeah, I know this place.
He doesn't know. Yeah, he's just
but he's been dead before, so he kind of gets it somehow. Like he did die, so he has to know something as to how to get there.
Yeah.
And even when the ship, the boat was about on the edge of the cliff on the waterfall,
it's the edge of the world. You know that?
Yeah. What?
The world was flat back then.
Oh, was it flat back then?
Yeah, they're falling off the edge of the world.
No way.
Off the edge of the map, as it were.
Believe you.
Yeah. And it's set in the Caribbean. Actually, this one's globetrotting. The other ones are in the Caribbean. This one's globetrotting.
Well, apparently it's pronounced Caribbean.
Caribbean, yeah. No. Pirates of the Caribbean. So I like Caribbean better.
Caribbean is way better.
Yeah.
Just like, instead of Prometheus, it's Prometheus.
What?
Yeah.
I've never heard it pronounced like that.
Really?
Never.
Apparently, yeah, it's pronounced Prometheus.
Okay.
Prometheus sounds better.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah. But I like that Barbossa's the one laughing, ha 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 ha, as they're facing off death by falling off the boat.
It feels as though he is in the theme park ride in Disneyland. He's having fun. The rest of them are like, oh my god.
If there is an actor aside from Johnny Depp who I love seeing the actor perform the character,
it's Jeffrey Rush.
Yeah, he
100%.
plays him. He owns it so well.
Yeah. He's so confident. It's almost like, you know what it is? I think Jeffrey Rush in Pirates of the Caribbean, when he plays Barbossa, every time I see Jeffrey Rush now, I think, oh, that's Barbossa.
Yeah.
Do you know? Like,
and this is
the part I always go back to.
This is in his later years.
Yeah.
And watching him in these movies is only want to make me watch him in The King's Speech.
Watching him in The King's Speech makes me go, oh, Barbossa's here.
Yeah, but I want to watch the King's Speech.
For him. Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely.
Just for him. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think then, really, of the locker scene?
I kind of...
Because I can tell you, when I first saw it, I'm thinking, what is this?
Yeah, it's kind of... I don't like too much when characters become insane like that and kind of like...
Is it
delusional and whoa, what's real and what's not? They can't separate reality from...
Okay, but it's not as if he's waking up from a dream and it's still a dream.
No, but it's... You know what it is, I think, that bothers me about it is the fact that it does carry over. Jack takes that with him into the real world.
Yeah.
I hated it in... The most recent example I can give you is season 2 of House of the Dragon, when Damon is like, he's not unable... I just don't like when a character is in a setting where they can't differentiate reality from dreams. Now that's not the case here, but it is a little bit. And so that kind of whole thing of like him talking to himself and happens a little bit where he has like the little two Jacks on his shoulder. And yeah, that's funny, but when he's in the cell and there's multiple versions of him and all, it's like at least it's clear and concise as to which Jack is real, because the one that's real is the one that's in his full costume.
Yeah.
Everyone else is in partially in the costume.
Yeah.
But
I wonder if he actually has those tattoos, Jack Sparrow.
It's funny because I actually was thinking that as well, is that we don't see him with his shirt off other than in that scene. So like
He was in fine fit state.
yeah, he was, and like they're good tattoos, and it's just funny that it's like, oh, we've never been in a situation like the closest we would have gotten is in the first one when him and Elizabeth are on the island, but he's still in the shirt. Like we never seen him topless before this. Yeah. So it's just, but it makes sense that he would have these tattoos. Like he has, I think he has the sparrow on his arm. Johnny Depp has a sparrow tattoo, doesn't he?
I don't know what Johnny Depp has, but he can have it all.
I think he does have a sparrow tattoo.
I do like the weirdness of it all. Only for Jack as himself, his character, and how he responds to it. Like he'll go and criticize.
Yeah.
He'll criticize his fictitious lad making a rope, like making a knot of a rope, and he's just he's correcting him on why it's wrong and why it can't, and what happens if it is wrong, and why I don't even know. I can't remember word for word, but he still does remember. Even if it's only subconsciously, he is responsible for his own actions, and like it's that sort of carry on that got us into this state. You know, so he is somewhat aware that he is in a prison, but he doesn't know why. But he's not consciously thinking why, and he's also like really self-assured in his attitude, like. He jumps down. I wash my hands of this weirdness. You think he's gonna drop into the water, but no, it's on like dry.
That's one aspect
a dry desert land.
That's what I like a little bit about the locker, is like it feels as though it is a purgatory or a hell, and it's like a punishment for him, because what's one thing that Captain Jack loves being is a captain of his ship, and he can't sail his ship. It's smack bang in the middle of the desert, and who knows how long he's been here for, but the only instance where things start to move for him is when the crabs come. But the crabs only start to move when the rest of the crew, when Theodalma enters into the locker, and she's able to do that, and she's able to help the Pearl along. Yeah,
she's able to match the two of them together. Like Jack is the same, but he's more arrogant and stubborn. Like it's a bit harsh to see Jack Sparrow stab himself. Yeah, he already shot the other guy for a peanut. Like I felt bad for that one. That one guy. Like he tried to lick it. He said, "There's no wind. Of course, there's no bloody wind." You know, like it's as if another Jack next one was saying that, and the Jack Sparrow Prime was correcting him on it. Like what I say is the right way. But then the whole licking the rock, you know, like I said, he'll lick anything. He licks his brain at one point later on. I think
maybe it's because I think I dislike it because of how weird it gets. I think that it's, for me, it's the point at which Jack becomes much more of a caricature as opposed to an actual character, and then that is carried on into later movies. Now that's not a fault of this movie, or like I can't blame this movie for the actions of Jack in the other movies
for future
movies, because obviously that hasn't happened yet, but I feel as though it's when he returns from the locker, when he's in the locker, that's when he starts to no longer be the Jack that I fell in love with in the first movie and even in the second movie, you know. But that's just me.
What did you...
I'll tell you, actually, before you ask me that, I'll tell you another aspect of the locker that I like.
What's that?
Governor Swan.
It's sad?
Sad. It's what's sad about it, I think, is the realization that Elizabeth has. Or like no, we can save him. Like, it's fine. It's like, no, it's different.
Yeah, we're not back yet.
Jack's whole body... Like, I don't know why he wasn't able to fully go.
Why Governor Swan couldn't go?
Yeah.
I think he chose not to.
Yeah.
Theodalma said him at peace. He's on his way. He said, "I'll give your love to
your mother." Yeah.
So, and you know, Governor Swan's not in this movie a whole lot at all. Like, there is a deleted scene. Did you see this deleted scene where?
Don't think so.
Oh, really? It's when they board the Flying Dutchman, and it's Davy Jones' first scene where he says, "I will not have that infernal thing on my ship." And then Cutler says, the Dutchman will do as its captain is commanded, or something like that.
Yeah.
And that's when they open the chest and all the bayonets are pointed at.
Oh, I think I did see this.
This is a scene where Governor Swan runs in to stab the heart because Davy Jones told him, "I killed your daughter. My pet took down the Black Pearl." And so he was going to kill it, and Norrington stopped him. And then in comes Davy Jones, except it's a deleted scene, so they knew they were going to delete it because all it is Bill Nye in the motion capture suit. And the white dots on his face.
Yeah.
And that's the explanation, if it wasn't clear before, it is now, that if you stab the heart, you take its place.
Yeah.
And it's a good deleted scene, but I think it's right that it is deleted.
Yeah.
But
There's normally a reason why scenes are deleted.
yeah. But it is the next it is the next obvious sign or foreshadow that Governor Swan was killed.
Oh, yeah.
And I wonder why. Well, I know why. And I'm glad we weren't shown how. But I'd like to know how.
Yeah. I feel as though in a worst case scenario, it was Mercer that did it and took pleasure in it. That's my worst case
Do you
scenario.
think he shot him or stabbed him?
Stabbed him. He feels as though a guy that's his weapon of choice.
In front or behind?
In front. He wants to see the light go from their eyes.
I'm glad we didn't see that. Just like I said, Governor Swan is the type of character who should not be in the battlefield. He should not be in the foreground of the adventure. He
should not be in this world, really, should he? The Pirates of the Caribbean world.
No, he should be safe at home doing his business, his governor duties, and having tea.
He's a figurehead. He's going to parties, and he's not dealing with, my daughter she shouldn't be wrapped up in pirates. It should be that, she's
like if you wanted to propel in life,
blacksmith's son. Oh my goodness,
If you wanted to propel in life, he would be a good person to know to live a life. He's a man who's in the living world, where the movie exists. He's in the background of the movie.
Yeah.
But he's not the only one. There's loads of boats that with those little lights on them, and they're it's like they're ferrying themselves from the living world to the dying world, and the ferryman's not there, and it's like they're in a trance in a way. And when Elizabeth calls him, it's like he's woken up from it a little bit.
Yeah, it almost feels as though it's like they're just floating. They're not going anywhere because there's no one to lead them. That's what Davy Jones should be doing.
Yeah,
those spirits should be on the Flying Dutchman, but no, they're on these little dinghies that don't know where they're going.
What do you think?
Because they're in his locker. They're not in the afterlife. This is like a purgatory state. They're waiting for Davy Jones to bring them to where they should be.
There's this one boat where it has two little girls on it as well. It's a kids movie. Not really. What do you think the difference between the goats, the spirits that are under the water, floating in the same direction compared to the boats?
I didn't think much of them, really.
It's funny that the two guys, Rigetti and Pintel, who are saying,
what if we drop a cannonball?
Yeah. I suppose you would think that. They're asking the questions, they're asking the movie magic questions.
Yeah.
But it'd be a bit disrespectful, of course it would. What did you make of, though, the Jack Sparrow's introduction with the crew again? This is the first time he's meeting Gibbs, Will, and Elizabeth and Barbosa.
I like how he comes to the realization that, you know what, maybe I shouldn't be hanging out with the main characters. Maybe it's the side characters. Maybe I need to just be the main character because of the fact that because it happens a couple of times where, he says, he goes over and he goes down the crew. He goes to Gibbs, he goes to Marty, he goes to Cotton, and he's like, oh, good to see you. Tia Dalma, it's great. I always say you need to get out more, and he's having the crack with all these people. And then later on, when they're, I think, abducted by Xiao Feng, and he's like, oh, we went to this to get the pearl, we needed to get this, and Jack is like, did anyone come and save me just because they missed me? And the lads all put their hands
Marty.
up, and he's like, I'm gonna go stand over with them.
And Jack the monkey puts his hand up as well.
I like it. It's just I like the fact that there are certain members of Jack's crew that are Jack's crew.
Yeah.
Like we talked about earlier. Like it's the 5 of them. They've outlasted everyone else in all these other movies. So I do like the fact that Jack is finally copping on to the fact that, oh yeah, these are my guys actually.
Yeah. Even though they do leave him in the end.
Yeah, they do, unfortunately, yeah. Not Gibbs, but...
Not Gibbs. Gibbs is his right-hand man. He's his first mate. Always is, always will be. I like what he says the first time we see him, Barbosa.
Hi, Hector.
He calls him Hector. It's only him who calls him Hector
Yeah.
because he knows him as his first mate before. Yes. Isle of Muerta. What was the name of the island?
Isle de Muerta.
Isle of Muerta. You shot me.
Yeah.
And he goes, no, I didn't. The whole back and forthness between Barbosa and Jack as who is the commander ship. Like, Barbosa is a bit of a prick in a way because he's saying, that's my ship right there.
I mean, technically, okay.
No,
it's like I was saying earlier, okay? Like I said it in Dead Man's Chest, it's a length of time. Yes, we all know Jack is the captain of the Black Pearl.
yeah,
But Barbosa was captain of the Black Pearl for 10 years.
because he stole it from him.
Yeah, Brian, it doesn't matter how. I'm saying that he was, okay? You only won the race because I fell over. And it's like, yeah, I won the race. It doesn't matter how I won it, but I won it fair and square. Now, he played unfair.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
that, but
He would always play unfair.
yeah. But he's playing unfair, but I think he's playing fair by pirate standards. Like,
You know what? He is a big smile as well because Jack is trying to one up him. Like, look, mine's bigger than yours. Like with the big microscope. What's that scope?
a spyglass.
Spyglass.
It's you know what it is? It's Barbosa is effortlessly the captain, whereas Jack is putting in the effort to appear more like the captain than Barbosa.
But then he over accommodates by getting the spyglass, and
He has to use 2 hands to hold it up even.
But it doesn't. It's bending over.
Yeah.
Like, it's leaning down. So like he's only doing that just to one up Barbosa, whereas Barbosa is just actually captaining.
Yeah.
He's captaining.
Yeah.
Captaining,
yeah.
Captaining, yes. That's what he's doing. But while there are back and forth in each other, there is this one scene where they go to the island where the Kraken had
Yeah, so we dispatch the Kraken altogether, like
Off screen.
Off screen, the big monster. Essentially, what was the final battle of the second movie is just taken off the board entirely, and we learn a little bit earlier on. It's told to us, and then we see it later on when Jack encounters it, because obviously he's no longer afraid of it because it's no longer in the picture. But Beckett commanded Davy Jones to kill the Kraken.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, it's just a real good show of that's how much power that Beckett has over Davy Jones. It's like he killed the Kraken because he was told to.
Beckett is literally he's the civilized, grounded reality, making it so to the rest of the world. And so what does that mean? Order, law.
Yeah,
nothing mystical or near magic.
Yeah.
And therefore, like, he's using Davy Jones as a tool. So at the end of Beckett's plan, even if he dies an old man in his bed, he would dispatch Davy Jones because he is not a normal living human like himself.
Yeah.
Coming from a civilized society.
He would have Davy Jones's heart stabbed and install somebody within the role of the captain of the Flying Dutchman, and it's like, okay, and now you work for the East India Trading Company. Like, we're going to take all the mysticism out of it.
Yeah. And so that's why there's no room for the Kraken.
No.
So, like, that thing, get rid of it.
Beckett's ultimate goal is to destroy all the pirates. He wants the law and order. He wants rules in place. And guess what? Pirates don't follow the rules. Pirates have the freedom. So it's
that's
like,
why we rebel.
that's what they're the exact antithesis. Yeah, to what he wants in the world. So he has to destroy them.
But well, I was going to say there, the serious chat between Jack and Barbosa is, you mentioned earlier that the world is still the same. There's just less in it.
Yeah.
Like me and you, we're living proof that there is more in the world. Mm-hmm. I don't know the exact wording of it, but like, yeah, like Jack and Barbosa share they share something similar in that they both died and they both came back from the dead. And I'm not questioning, and I don't care to question how Jack Sparrow came to be in the locker when he was technically devoured by the Kraken on his ship.
Yeah.
How the ship, the Black Pearl, is completely intact as if it's new again.
Yeah.
Don't know how, and I don't care.
It's one of those things that,
it's movie
just
magic.
Movie magic, yeah. You don't have to question it.
It's a kid's movie.
Yeah.
All right. But as many double crosses there are in this movie, it does lead to a lot of like, not lingering scenes, but extended scenes with dialogue to the point where I'm sure some kids get bored, but it's very entertaining for the adults. Like, technically the first time on screen we see Jack and the villain of this movie, Beckett.
Mm-hmm. It's after they come back. Again, it's kind of like how we didn't see Davy Jones until the first hour. It's the first hour in. Is when Jack and Beckett finally actually interact, and it's the first time they've ever interacted, because they don't interact in the second movie.
No,
so
Beckett talks about Jack,
but yeah, they never
meet.
So that's really interesting.
Did they know of each other?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Apparently, you told me this in the last movie or off recording in the last.
Oh
movie.
yeah, it was in the recording. Yeah,
but
so
I didn't know that. And the reason I didn't know is because it was in a deleted scene.
Yeah, that Jack did work for the East India Trading Company
as like an honest sailor of sorts.
As a privateer,
yeah,
I believe. And so he was ordered to transport slaves, and that's what made him then turn to piracy. He's like, I'm not doing that. I'm not transporting slaves.
Why did they take that line out?
Don't know. It's a great. Did you watch the deleted scene?
Yeah,
yeah. It's a good one, and it gives a little bit of context to that these two have an established relationship in some way.
It adds a lot of layers to Jack Sparrow.
Yeah,
like despite of all the bad he does.
Mm-hmm. And it also adds layers to Beckett as well, where it's like, oh yeah, no, I'm an upstanding citizen of the law. I want to enforce the law, but I'm okay with slavery. Slavery's fine. Perfectly acceptable for the time that we're in.
And he's the one who branded
Jack with his P for the pirates. Yeah,
exactly. Do you know Mercer does have a little like mini battle with Barbossa when Sao Fang betrays Beckett?
There's a lot of betraying. There's a lot of back and forth betraying and getting kind of wires crossed and like understanding exactly everyone's motivations.
Talk about wires crossed. Sao Fang thought Elizabeth was Calypso. And when Barbossa realizes that he thinks that Papa over there is the sea goddess I tend to release, he feeds that into him, and Elizabeth goes along with that just to spite Will because they're having relationship issues.
They're having relationship issues, but I feel as though that is something that is dealt with, and you're not leaving it too late either, because it's not until they're in the locker does Will find out that it was Elizabeth that fed him to the Kraken, and then that's when he realizes, oh, that kiss was it wasn't a goodbye kiss, it wasn't an I love you kiss, it was a I'm going to sacrifice you kiss, like this is a distraction kind of thing. And like clearly they haven't spoken about it, they're just on bad terms, and she didn't even realize that he had seen it.
So the shock she realizes when she learns that Will thought that she loved him, she loved Jack, and Will coming to that understanding now. So a little bit more open conversation, a little bit more communication in a relationship, and a bit little bit less betraying to do. And it's funny that Will is annoyed, not because Elizabeth betrayed Jack, but because she kissed him and he thought that she loved him. It's just funny that Jack being sacrificed, Jack's death was inconsequential to Will's annoyment, his anger towards it.
Yeah. Speaking of the double crosses and the misunderstandings and all that kind of stuff, I felt as though the sequence where... So obviously Jack seems to make a deal with Beckett to lead him to the Pirate Cove, but then it seems as though Will also makes that deal and he's trying to lure Beckett to the Pirate Cove, and so Jack betrays Will. But then later on, when they're on the sandbar having the conversation, I don't know if you got this, I got as though it was kind of like a little, like, the two of them were having, they had a plan between them as well, that they both understood.
Jack has to be swapped with Will, so Jack can be on the Flying
Dutchman. I think that aspect was a surprise to Jack. But there is a moment where, okay, now I've got Will here as well, and it's like this was part of the plan to get Will. It seemed as though there was some extra layer that was going on that I didn't quite understand what their plan was.
Another person watching this movie would think, this is all over the place, I don't know what's happening anymore, and that's their problem to have, whereas to like to me and you, we love it because we just love the movie and we love the characters. the movie really does go around in circles to get to its end point. And I think, yeah, you said it earlier, where not a whole lot happens consequence-wise, because I'm pretty sure you said that. You're looking at me.
Yeah, no. It's not a whole lot happens until the end.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot of conversation and it's a lot of double crossing and like just trying to understand character motivations.
Action is very minimal.
Yeah, which is fine. That's okay. It doesn't bother me that there's less action in it. But it does feel as though it's very long for not a whole lot happening.
I guess so.
Like the fact it's nearly 3 hours long.
Still a surprise to me. I want to talk about one of my favorite sequences. It's actually quite small when upon rewatching it, but it's the rocking the ship part.
Oh yes, it's you know what, it's good to have Jack be the clever one in the situation.
Yeah.
You know, he's the one that figures it out. And it's because of the fact that the map, it's an interesting design. The map is like, it's a multiple treasure map. It shows multiple things.
Yeah.
Depending on how it's positioned.
You need to know what you're looking for before you start mapping it out.
Yeah, it's unique. It's good. And I like the fact that Jack's the one that figures it out. So it's not like he's an active participant within his own rescue as well.
Yeah.
But I do find it funny that he's running back and forth as opposed to just telling everyone what the plan is.
This is what we have to do.
They're running back and forth, and then Gibbs go, "We're tipping the ship," and then it's then Barbosa that sees the map and he's like, "Oh, okay, I get it." As opposed to Jack just saying, "This is what it is. Look at the map."
Yeah, but Jack making funny noises. It's funnier.
What is that? Yeah.
Yeah. What's that?
You got to
What do
keep the
think?
kids entertained. You know.
We do have to keep the kids entertained.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, even though it is darker and it is more mature, it is still a kids film. It's a kids franchise.
The whimsical music that plays, it is fun. I like Hans Zimmer's music score.
Yeah, you know what? It's even though it's a kids movie, I'm happy to show this to my kids when they're 7, 8, or 9.
Oh yeah,
you know, it's
absolutely.
like a little bit of an older kid. I wouldn't be. I'd maybe show the first one to like a younger kid,
Yeah.
and then these two for a little bit later.
Oh well, they'll grow up with it, just like
Yeah.
we grew up with these movies.
That's true. Yeah.
It was a funny bit with the wet powder, and then wait, we can still use them as clubs, and actually looks like it really hurts because Jack does that later with one of the Flying Dutchman crew. Like, say, "Oh, my pistol," and he jabs him in the head, and he just falls. Like, there's a lot of funny moments in this movie. I laughed a lot out loud.
You know what's one that I find very funny is there's this one guy. He's in the first movie and he's in this one, and he's part of the East India Trading Company, and he just has such an admiration for Jack. And it's like when Jack makes his escape from Beckett's ship, and he like shoots the cannon and he actually destroys the mast, and your man comes along and he's like, "That has to be the best pirate I've ever seen." And he was the same in the first movie as well. He's just so, he's like, "This guy's good. I like Jack."
He says in this movie, do you think he
plans it, or does he make it up as he goes along?
Yeah.
It's great. And it's like Beckett is like rolling his eyes the same way that Norrington was doing it in the first movie. He's like, "That has to be the best pirate I've ever seen."
That guy's in the fourth movie.
Is he?
He is.
Okay, I have not watched the fourth movie in a while, so I would need to look out for him. But I did like him. I do like, that's a funny aspect to me that I like.
You mentioned Norrington. I thought he was in this movie more than
So
I
did
remembered.
Yeah, I was actually disappointed with how little he was in it. And his arc comes to a close quite quickly.
I just wanted him to not pull the blackfish and go with Elizabeth. Like, it's so nice to see. What's the fucking word I'm looking for? A sign of home, a familiar face for Elizabeth to see. James Norrington.
It's a sense of comfort or safety or like.
Yeah. Like, I know he was trying to marry her when he knew her
when she was 7 years old.
Yeah,
creep.
Normal. I know.
I'll stand by that he was a creep for that.
Yes, but it's perfectly acceptable for the times that it was him.
It's not though. Jesus Christ, stop defending him. God almighty.
But
Captain James Norrington spotted on Jeffrey Epstein's island. I'm an honourable man. I promise.
She's after witnessing Sao Fang's death, which, you know, much deservedly
Elizabeth,
so.
yeah.
Yes, Elizabeth. Because she was about to be sexually assaulted by what a creep of a man trying to force himself onto her.
That, you know what? That's something that I've just, with you saying that she was nearly assaulted, she absolutely was assaulted. But the fact that
no, he only kissed her.
That's assault, Brian. The fact that Elizabeth is the main female character in this, the only other female character really in this is Tia Dalma. But because of that, and because Keira Knightley is kind of the sex appeal as well, unfortunately, all of the jokes or all of the sexualization, all of it, or even the assault, it all comes down on her. That's a lot for one character.
That's a lot for an 18-year-old.
At this time, she would have been in her early 20s at this point.
She was 17 when she filmed the first one. 17,
3 years
18, 19,
later.
20.
Yeah.
21. She's 21.
Yeah.
21, 22.
21, I'd say the actor, but I would believe that the character is still probably maybe 17, 18, 19.
Oh, of course,
quite
absolutely.
young. Yeah.
Yeah, very
But
much so.
fair play to her for...
She's named captain, and she takes that as a bit of a development, one would say. But
I love the fact that she straight away, like, she goes and she embraces the pirate lifestyle, like we said from the get-go, from the beginning of this movie. And then when she is captured by the Dutchman and Norrington is there and he offers her a,
safe harbor,
come to my cabin, she's like, no, I'll stay with my crew. And, like, that's what the captain should do. It's like the whole thing of, like, the captain should go down with their ship.
And good on the crew for not trying to sexually assault her as well. I'm sure the thought never occurred to them.
No, yeah, these rapscallions, these absolute devils. But I do like the fact that she fully embraces it. And then later on, when she arrives at the Brethren Court, she is a full-on participant. She's an active member in the story.
So, yeah, she's there in Sao Fang's stead. A piece of plywood has never found a better guy into his heart, but deservedly so for his debt. But we're on James Norrington, but this is kind of a yin and yang to the...
See, James Norrington is only really in it he's in it to be introduced, okay?
And he got his sword back,
which I really want to talk about.
Yeah.
I really want to talk about that later.
It reminded me of Andor. Reminded me of...
In a way, I understand that.
Cyril's weapon in Andor.
Absolutely. But I think Norrington, he's only in that introductory scene, and then he's in the scene later to service Elizabeth's story. Like, I think that's what's disappointing about Norrington, is that it's so interesting of a character in the second movie.
Yes.
And his progression and where he starts and where he ends up.
Yeah.
But then in this one, it's just, he's not...
He gets closure, but his closure is ineffective to the plot of the movie, to the rest of the movie.
Yes.
You could have done a little bit more with him had he have went with Elizabeth. And
could have had him as be... Yeah, you're absolutely right. He could have done a lot more with Elizabeth. He also could have been essentially Beckett's envoy on the Dutchman. We could have seen more of that, more interactions between Davy Jones and Beckett, or not Beckett, sorry, Norrington.
Yeah.
Like, I think I would have liked that more than having Mercer there. And, like, some of those conversations that Davy Jones could have had is like, you're the one that's put me in this position. You're the one that gave my heart to Beckett. You're here. I'm here because of you, and you're here because of you.
If you think about it, if Norrington, if this movie plays out however it does, except with the conclusion of Norrington, that is when Davy Jones reclaims command of his ship, as opposed to the start of the battle, because he only reclaims it when he kills Mercer, when he kisses him to death with his tentacles.
You know what I think would have been an interesting interaction?
What?
Building on what I just said there, of a few interactions between Norrington and Davy Jones, and like Davy Jones would have this hatred, more of a hatred I think to Norrington than he would Beckett, because it's because of Norrington that they're both in this situation. Can you imagine?
I don't think Davy Jones knows that.
I think that would have come to light. I think it would have. Sure, the guys would have. They would have figured it out.
All right.
But his crew were there on the island as well, and they were chasing him, and they got the chest from Norrington.
Norrington's got new hair.
Well, but how interesting would it have been when Elizabeth is making her escape, and Bootstrap plays out all the same, and Davy Jones comes down, he gets down to Norrington's level, and he says, "Do you fear death?" And Norrington says, "Yes, I do." And Davy Jones is like, "Too bad." Like, he denies him even the possibility of being on his crew, and that's when he stabs him. Like, it's like a final defiance, like, I think that would have been a really interesting thing, as opposed to
it would have been interesting to have a cruel moment, but I love the going out fighting attitude Norrington has. Because of all the characters to kill James Norrington, it's Bootstrap Bill. A character we love.
Yeah,
It's not a villain. It's a good guy that kills another good guy.
yeah. Bootstrap is so he's such a tragic character for me. He's like the whole first movie we're hearing about Bootstrap and how he was tossed to the bottom of the ocean.
The tragic tale of Bootstrap Bill.
Yeah,
and the tragic realization of Bootstrap Bill in the second movie.
Yeah, that he is a part of the crew and he's never gotten an opportunity to pass on or anything like that. And now this third movie, and he's losing himself. He's no longer Bootstrap. He's becoming
a touch of Alzheimer's in a way.
He's just becoming part of the ship.
Yeah,
you know, and he's in a position that we saw with the guy in the second one.
He's still in the brig since he was put there.
Yeah,
he's never left.
No, and it's only when Norrington comes and frees Elizabeth and the crew that Bootstrap can leave, that he gets the opportunity to leave. But now he's been down there so long with no one to interact with, and he's become so part of the ship that he's like almost that indoctrinated kind of thing. Is like part of the crew, part of the ship.
He doesn't remember the conversation he had with Elizabeth that Will is coming to get him,
and he's literally just said, "Tell Will not to come for me. Like tell him to choose you instead of me. I wouldn't choose me."
And then he wakes up again. And is like, "Oh, Will,
you know my name.
Yeah,
my son Will. He's coming for me. You watch. You'll see. You'll see."
Do you know what? Remind me of this in a minute, but in just finishing this scene here, like I like the kind of wide shot where it's a close up shot where I like that James kisses Elizabeth. I like as a bit of it's a goodbye kiss.
Yeah.
What's wrong? She's not 17.
Nothing to do with that. It's just like, I think maybe again it falls under the whole like she's the only woman. So like, I mean, she kisses all of the love interests. She kisses Jack. She kisses Will. She kisses James Norrington.
She's
assaulted.
Her.
She's assaulted by Xiao Feng as well. Like the only person she doesn't kiss is fucking Pintail and Rigetti.
Or Barbosa.
But like, I just think I like the line he says to her better than the kiss. Our lives have always been entwined, but they've never been connected. Yeah. I think I think that kissing her tries to. It's like I don't see it as like a goodbye kiss. Yeah. I see it as like a one final effort. It's like I'm giving in to the thing that I've wanted my whole life.
But he still doesn't. He decides not to go with her.
That's him being the honourable one, and that's him.
And being more honourable, he has one bullet. He decides not to shoot Bootstrap, who kills him. He shoots the rope that sends Elizabeth away so they can escape.
Yeah.
So he does sacrifice himself in a way. And yeah, he was offered the choice and he says, I'll take that as a no. And then he's dead. It's like I remember that being like, oh, a character just died. Yeah, the part of the crew, part of the ship. That's a good saying I like to hear in these movies. But what I was going to say is I love a movie when they have like 4 to 5 actors where each and any one of them could receive the "and" in the credits. Jonathan Pryce, Bill Nighy, Jeffrey Rush, Stellan Skarsgård. Even let me ask you this:
they're all on that caliber.
They are that caliber. Is Beckett Tom Hopper?
Tom Hollander.
Yeah, I only found that out when we were watching these movies.
I don't think I realised it when I was younger either.
But
like obviously I wouldn't have known that. But
when you're watching these movies now for the purpose of recording these, did you know?
Yeah.
I didn't.
Really?
Yeah.
When did you figure it out?
When I kind of thought, is that Tom Hollander? I'm surprised. Yeah. He looks so young as well.
He does look young, absolutely. Yeah. But these are 20 years ago as well, don't forget that.
But yeah, it's yeah, wow. I know we've been talking about the movie, kind of like one scene after another.
Yeah.
But I suppose we're gotten to the point where we're coming to the third act, even though there's like an hour left.
Yeah, we're coming to the third act, which you saw half of.
I saw the latter half. The latter half.
Yeah.
But what do you want to talk about?
No, I'm happy with the way we're going. Yeah, I like as we're going.
All right,
I think the next logical thing is to go to the Brethren Court.
Shipwreck Cove.
In Shipwreck Cove, yeah.
Different cultures and ethnicities coming together under the piracy law. where
Yeah,
their own version of politics is swashbuckling,
squabbles,
and fighting.
It's interesting that, like I was saying earlier, there this movie definitely doesn't feel as though it's limited to the Caribbean. It's very much globetrotting, and we get that with how many, like, we go to Singapore, we go obviously to Davy Jones' Locker, but then go into Shipwreck Cove, and all of these pirates from all of these different areas. Like, we have an Indian pirate king, we have a Chinese lady, we have an African man, we have a French man. Like, there's so many different aspects. It's like, okay, this is a world, like, it's literally the seven seas kind of thing, you know.
I like that the whole like sales pitch Barbossa's given, and it's like, the first court, our ancestors had trapped Calypso. That was a mistake, and we must free her. And he's like, shoot him, cut out his tongue, shoot him and cut out his tongue, and then shoot his tongue and trim that squabbly beard. Like, any opportunity Jack can jump aboard on the how to shame Barbossa or how to kill Barbossa, like he'll jump on that opportunity anytime he can get. Like, anytime, hey, Captain Turner, Captain Will Turner, yeah, you can keep him. You know, the whole naming the king, the vote, where every pirate has one vote and they always vote for themselves. So Jack knew, right, well then, to proceed things along, I'll vote the least offensive person in that of Elizabeth. Yeah. Because he's not going to name Barbossa, because just to spite him.
What do you think of the cameo then?
The cameo of the movie.
Yeah.
I learned that this was this guy in a game show. It was like, what's the actor that plays Jack Sparrow's dad in Pirates of the Caribbean? It's like, that's an interesting question. Who is that? The man who Jack based his performance off from the get-go. And who the hell knows who Keith Richards is?
He's a musician, isn't he?
He's Rolling Stones.
Yeah, I'm not a big music guy.
He's in the band with Mick Jagger.
Yeah.
Do you know Mick? Do you know?
I know of Mick Jagger. Yeah.
Yeah, he's in that band, and he looks bigger in the costume in the movie.
Yeah,
Keith Richards is a small man.
I kind of like the fact that it's like, oh yeah, Jack is unique. Jack is so cool. But like, oh, here's his dad, and it's like, oh, well, actually, he's just a kid copying his dad, kind of thing. Like,
yeah. In a way, the dog is back.
The dog is back. The shaggy dog with the keys, is back.
Sea turtles, mate.
I didn't like that one. I was like, wow, that was just a weird callback. That is like, you just want to include it in.
You just want to bring the joke up.
Yeah, I didn't. I was like, it just feels out of place.
Whatever it takes to ensure that us, the audience, are satisfied that the dog did not die.
Yeah, well, that's fine. Just have the dog back. But you didn't have to say sea turtles, mate. I don't know. Yeah, I just found it a bit weird.
I suppose the two lads, Rigeshi Pintel, say, well, you know,
that's enough. Yeah.
Do you know, it happened in the Dead Man's Chest, but the two of them on a sailboat, they were also again on the boat and
turned over by a wave. Yeah.
Only them. I bet Barbossa and Jack on their boat, that didn't happen to them, but only to Rigeshi and Pintel. Yeah, you brought this up in foreshadowing it, but here we are again. The 9 pieces of 8. Barbossa has one, and what is it?
It's Rigetti's wooden eye, which, like we said there, the last couple of episodes as well.
This is like, because Rigetti is losing his eye to Jack the Monkey, like off at the side of the screen, while more important dialogue is happening between the more important characters.
There's even a scene earlier on in the film where he loses the eye again, and Barbossa picks it up and like washes it for him and puts it in. It's
out
like,
of frustration on when he slaps it. It's like, don't lose it again.
Yeah, it's kind of like him getting involved when he doesn't need to at all. Yeah. Like, he was about to get it, but it's like, this is important to him as well.
That is so kind for Barbossa, considering the character that he is, to give the eye to Rigeshi when he didn't have to at all.
Yeah. Well, it's something that he can, I suppose, keep an eye on. You know, pun intended. He can keep an eye on Rigetti.
I get it. Whereas how long were you sitting on that one?
It just came to me. But like Jack, where's Jack's piece of 8?
It's on his head the whole time.
Exactly. It's been essentially it's a piece of the costume
that was never meant to have any more value than just a piece of plastic.
Exactly. It was just a coin that he had in his hair, and it's like, okay, well, it's something that Jack has had with him the entire time, no matter what, whether he's lost his clothes or lost anything. Yeah. He's always got that piece on him.
I like after the facts, the establishments that have meaning.
Yeah, like, you go back and you go, okay, what can we give meaning to? The same with his compass. Like, the compass was just a compass that didn't work. It didn't point north. But no, we're going to give it a different meaning. So I do like the fact that we have that for both of them. That Righetti's eye is Barbossa's piece of 8, and Jack has had his coin with him the entire time.
I like those after the fact establishments for items, for objects, for pieces, as opposed to after the fact establishments that, oh, I know we've had these movies with these characters, but now we're going to do a new movie that's a prequel that took place in between this movie and that movie, or it's a prequel to all of them, and these events happened, and these events were never ever ever referenced or mentioned in the movies that came first.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
It's like making prequels, forcing prequels into establishments.
It's the problem that the prequels have, is that you introduce characters and plot points, and it's like, okay, well, I know that these aren't relevant at all. You're never going to see them again.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you watch, or it's like, you know what? We talked about it in our bonus episode where we talk about our favorite prequels, because I actually find it very hard to like prequels. But it's when you put a character in danger in a prequel, you know that they're fine.
Yeah.
It's like that scene in Solo where like Chewie's on the side of the train, and it's like, oh my god, is he going to be okay? It's like, well, yeah, I've fucking seen him in 6 other films, like.
But yeah, anyway, I don't know why I came up with that comparison, but I just did. But yeah, Keith Richards, you're my way, boy.
I like the way he's a little bit scared of him.
Yeah.
But he's also emulating him, because he's dressed up like his dad.
While that scene is happening, we do have quite an important, and it's like, I didn't see enough of him scene when Calypso is in the brig.
Yeah.
And
did you notice as well? I don't think I noticed it until this time. Sorry, before we go to that.
It's
just
okay.
After they elect the Pirate King.
Yes.
And Elizabeth says we're going to war. Righetti and Barbossa, they kind of share a look, and it's like Barbossa's like, go on, and he takes all the pieces of 8, and no one ever looks for them back or anything like that, and it's like he's slinking away. It's like, we're still going to do our plan though.
Yeah.
You know, I think that was something I don't think I ever really picked up on, I think, in previous watches, and it's something that, yeah, they go to war and then they go back and they release Calypso, and that's an unsanctioned thing that Barbossa has done.
Yeah.
I don't think I quite realised that until this time around.
But you know what I also like is the commitment those two guys have for Barbossa.
Yeah, they're very much part of his crew.
Very much so.
What did you think? Do you have the guy who, the pirate who is, what's his name? I can't think of the name, but he's always has the guy talking for him. Mishumbara. Votes for Mishumbara.
Oh, yeah.
And then he's like, stands up at the end, so we go to war.
That's something for the kids.
It's very funny.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm not a kid. I'm a big kid, but I find it funny.
What did you make of... Well, first of all, before we get to the scene where she has her moment with Davy Jones, what do you think of Naomi Harris in this movie?
I think she's great. I love the mysticism that she has. She's like shrouded in mystery. You know that there's something more going on. I like the way she speaks as well. Like the inflection in her voice, and her accent, and her mannerism of speaking. I won't emulate it because I don't want to be cultural appropriation or anything like that.
Oh, of course not.
No, but you know what I mean. Like, it's just the way she speaks is.
I like that for a Pirates movie where you have, if you have like a ragtag crew of characters, and each character has to be like stereotypical in their own right, and they can't be similar to the next person. You know, you have the pirate, you have the damsel in distress, you have, in some cases, the straight thinking blacksmith, and then you have, you know, Beavis and Butthead, but then you have the mystical.
She's a witch.
She is a witch. Yeah, she's a witch. Witches exist in these, and if we got like a small crew of a skeleton crew, if you will, of pirates in
nice Star Wars reference again.
Thank you. Each character would have to be different to the next, so is that you're not copying one after the other. So like one would be the captain, one would be the civilized person who's joining piracy, another one would be a witch. You know, they're all unique in themselves, and I like that this was a consistency. It's like every character in this movie nearly has a role to play, to fulfill the embodiment of what their characteristic is, you know?
And I like the way that, because obviously we find out that she is Calypso, and she is essentially she is the goddess of the sea. She is the sea, trapped in human form. Is that her mysticism, her powers, her ability to bring Barbossa back from the dead, it's like, she has those powers from being the goddess, but now she's on such a smaller scale. She can't do what she could do when she was Calypso, but she still has some level of it.
It's like she has powers for others, but not for herself.
In a way, yeah, I guess, yeah.
She reminds me of something like a witch doctor in a way, like a voodoo.
I was kind of
priestess.
thought that too. I had my idea of the guy in Princess and the Frog. You know,
I love that character. I know what I'm talking about, but talk about a character that gets little to no screen time.
yeah, I'll tell you, I've had zero screen time because I still haven't seen Princess and the Frog.
Keith David is the man.
Is he in that?
He's the witch doctor. He
Oh, is
voices
he?
him, yeah.
Oh, I didn't. That is a genuine. That is a genuine connection that I did not know, and I did not do that on purpose.
Why
The
did
fact
you,
that
why did you think I? Oh shit! Did I say Keith David?
Oh, you said Keith Richard.
No,
but it is
no,
Keith David.
No. I said
Okay.
Keith David, but you thought I said Keith Richards.
Haha, okay.
God damn it!
I just had my Keiths mixed up. My
David,
apologies.
I'm gonna put a sync in there just to remember not to misinterpret me. Because you made me think I said Keith Richard, but no, I
Okay.
said Keith David. But Keith
Well,
David's
we'll know.
completely
If you-
different to Keith Richards.
If you go back here now and you did say Keith Richard, then you got to insert an extra little bit here. We go. Yeah, I was.
But back to the voodoo priestess who can.
Calypso. Yeah.
She only has powers for others, but not for herself. Like she holds Barbossa's hand and she says, "Don't forget why I brought
and
you
it starts
back."
to go all skeletal again.
Oh,
And it's not like he was in the first movie. It's like it's decomposing in
Yeah.
front of his eyes.
And it's like, oh, the fear he had is that. No wonder he's committed to freeing her.
Yeah.
But she has the reversal effect for someone like Davy Jones.
Yeah, it's sick. That's a great scene.
It's a fantastic scene. It's the only glimpse we have of what
Who he was before the
Yeah.
curse, before he was damned.
What was he like? Was he a good man? Was he an honest
He must
sailor?
have been.
Oh,
She was like he was in love with Calypso, and she was in love with him, and she charged him with the task. And like it's heartbreaking to get all this context. Like we said there last week, it was so hard to talk about it last week because we know all of the hints and the foreshadowing.
yes.
Tia Dalma says that Davy Jones was a man and he loved the sea, and or she says he was in love with a woman, and Gibbs is like, oh, I heard it was the sea, and she's like, same story, different versions. And
Yeah.
guess what? He was in love with both. He was in love with Calypso, who is the goddess of the sea. She's the woman of the sea. It's like, oh, it's a great just like turn of phrase. It's like, yeah, it's the same story but two different versions.
Their backstory has the makings of its own movie.
That could be a prequel. Yeah, that 100% could be a spin-off.
Yeah,
prequel.
that could feasibly
The first Brethren
exist.
Court, absolutely.
Yeah, it
But
could exist.
you also then get because we had the foreshadowing as well of that Tia Dalma has the locket that Davy Jones is constantly using and listening to, and then we finally get the full context of their relationship, and we see this like Davy Jones is like he's back to his original form, and he's just a man, and his tentacles are just his beard, and it's Bill Nighy. The only time we get to see Bill Nighy in this role.
Yeah.
And it's the heartbreak where he admits, like, yeah, I did love you, but you charged me with this task, and my reward was that I would see you once every 10 years, and you weren't there. And, like, all she can say is, yeah, it's in my nature. Like, I can't, like, it's like something I can't control. I just wasn't there. Like, she doesn't have an excuse for it, and that's when he kind of loses it, and he, like, goes to kill her.
Sees that he can't go through things backwards.
Because he can't get through the...
Yeah,
I think that was more so just... he tries to do it, and he just gets frustrated, and he just, like... He could 100%... He could... Like, he phases through the bars. He could have 100% phased back, but I think he wanted to intimidate her. He wanted to go in.
I think it was just... It's a bit of effort to go backwards than it is to go forwards.
Maybe
like,
so.
how hard is it? Walking forwards is easy. Walking backwards... It's a little bit more tricky. No, but think about it.
Yeah, okay. I interpreted it more as an intimidation tactic.
Of course he's intimidating her, but, you know, there's not much he can do or will do. But this is a scene where really that Calypso is not an ally.
Yeah, even later on when they release her.
Hold on. I want to say this, right? I like that Barbossa is so self-assured in his own right that you have to speak the words and say it true
as if to a lover.
Yeah, and no shit. He's definitely not a lover. He's a gentleman, but he's not a lover. And
I feel as though he has only ever had sex with women that he has paid to have sex with him. Because, yeah, you have to say it like a lover, and he's like, Calypso, I release you from these bonds. And it's like, yeah, no, that's not right at all. And then Rigetti comes up and he like whispers it in her ear, and
It works.
straight away works. Like,
of all characters,
to
No,
release the goddess of the sea.
But think about it. Think about what that moment filming that day for that actor felt like.
I'm the thing that sets off the final battle.
I have this one-on-one, this pivotal one-on-one with actor Jeffrey Rush on screen. This is what I'm saying about characters whose faces you recognise but you don't know their names having significant moments. And you keep cutting back to Pintel, who says, this is it, after how many times he says, is that it? Is that it? You know, because the giant woman sequence.
Yeah.
Sexiest thing you could ever see in this movie, maybe.
Okay, we're finding out Brian's fetishes, I
Oh,
guess.
of course, absolutely.
Big woman, stamp on me, please.
No, just to look at.
Oh, okay. I do like the fact that it's unclear that she will be an ally.
Yeah,
You know,
but
because in the scene with Davy Jones, she says like, you know, if they release you, what are you going to do? And she's like, I'm going to take my revenge on the Brethren Court for putting me in these bonds.
Yeah.
But then it's later on when she is released, and Will kind of turns it around on her, where she's like, who taught them how to do it? And she's like, name who was it? It's almost as if she doesn't know. And when he says Davy Jones, that's
Yeah.
when she's like, okay, yeah, let's get Davy Jones instead.
I think she more so just took an objective approach to the battle. Like, she created this and she let them do what they could do. Like, was
yeah,
she,
that's fair,
But
yeah.
was she against them in favour of Jones, or did she actively aid Jones because Jones says she'll not harm us when they head towards the battle?
I think it's definitely a...
She created the environment and she let the children play it and let whatever outcome be.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair. I think you're right. I mean, I suppose she creates the environment, but she doesn't give a hand to either of them. Like, they're both at the same disadvantage or at the same advantage, whatever way you want to look at it.
I don't know.
Maybe it was something that they just kind of... They had the idea of, but they weren't fully sure how to narratively pay it off.
They just want to create a whirlpool, which of all things you can create for a battle, right? Not right. They did a trench of a waterfall in the fifth movie. Nothing beats a whirlpool.
It's visually interesting.
It is visually interesting, especially how it's conducted. Now, they did tease like a grand, large scale
Naval battle.
battle.
I don't mind, though, that they didn't.
I don't mind either, but I am thinking of the what ifs. I am thinking of the what could be's, especially that this is the
conclusion for the time, yeah.
Come on, like it's the grand battle, like it's the epicness of it all. You know, while we're not rewarded there, we are rewarded with the 3-on-3 with Jack, Elizabeth, and Barbossa squaring off against Will, Beckett, and Jones. And Jones is standing in the bucket of water, which, by the way,
you said is cheating. It's not cheating because they're on a sandbar, which is technically neither land nor sea.
who knows what a sandbar
I
is?
do, and I'm telling you, and I'm going to thank Miss Caroline Canny, my geography teacher in secondary school, who taught us that a sandbar is neither land nor sea. I think it's very, very clever.
Talk about not seeing Rigetti and Pintel tying themselves upside down to the pole of the ship.
Let's see all the buckets as he probably walks step by step in a bucket, just in case, because he's not 100% sure
Talk about
if he can stand on it.
Because that's just movie magic. You don't get it. I would have liked to see a back and forth between Barbossa and Davy Jones,
Yeah, that would have been good. The two villains of 1 and 2
but the two cursed pirates in a way.
in different ways.
Yes, I just would have liked to have seen that in a way, because we get Barbossa squaring off against Blackbeard.
Yeah.
We get Barbossa having some dialogue scenes between Salazar when he's on his revenge quest.
Yeah.
Salazar's revenge.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. All right, we can pronounce Dead Men Tell No Tales. That's an overlapping theme in these movies. It's quite significant. Us Irish.
It's so strange to change it from Dead Men Tell No Tales to Salazar's Revenge.
Oh yeah,
And
we know who Salazar is.
Yeah, and you know, I think that what's strange about it is because you could make the arguments like, oh, they didn't want to have dead in the title. Except, what's the second movie called? Dead Man's Chest.
I think that I don't think that's an argument at all. It's a nothing thing, really.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like, we've shown that we can pronounce philosopher over sorcerer. I think we're okay. And where are we now?
It's the final battle. I think we're in the final battle.
We are in the final battle.
The two ships, the Black Pearl, the Flying Dutchman.
Great visual.
They are circling each other. And I think that someone who we've kind of failed to mention for the last hour and a half, we talked about him, and unfortunately he's been actually in the bucket of water the entire time, and we're going to talk about him now, is Will Turner. We're going to pull him up. He's had his breath held for 90 minutes or so. Here he is. It's Will fighting on the deck of the Black Pearl, and he turns to Elizabeth and says, "Marry me." And it's like I do love when there's a climax to a film.
Yeah.
But I do love when our climaxes crescendo together. And this is the emotional climax of the film, really.
Yeah.
It's the final, it's the big thing for Will and Elizabeth's relationship. It's their marriage. It's something that they got together at the end of the first movie. The second movie was supposed to begin with their marriage, and here they are finally getting married. Now, I know that obviously there's more to come with their relationship in the next half an hour of the movie, but it is like this big grand, like, we're gonna have a wedding in the middle of the battle, and they get Barbossa to marry them.
I first thought, why Barbossa? I get why.
Yeah,
he definitely
captain of the ship. Yeah,
he is a captain of the ship, but he does convey the essence of it's not that it's a priest, but what is it that you call that you
an
have
officiant?
What?
An officiant.
An officiant.
Yeah,
he does exude efficiency to marry people.
Yeah.
I like that he's doing it mid battle himself, and like he's using every tactic he can to do so while fighting off foes. He's fighting two guys back and forth to left and right. He stabs a guy by bending over, and then for a last second cause, he pulls out his pistol and Indiana Jones the guy and shoots him.
It's good. It's just a good action sequence that also then has some emotional stakes to it. Like, are these two going to be able to get married? Are they gonna finish the ceremony? I like the fact that the two of them are like, when Barbossa is busy, they're taking over.
Yeah,
and it's like, because also they're captains as well.
Yeah,
like, she's a pirate. She's the pirate king, and I suppose at one point they do refer to Will as Captain Will Turner, and they're all laughing at him or whatever.
Yeah, a few times, but you know, it's better said that way. That he asks her, "Do you take me to be your husband?" He's like, "I do." And do you take me to be your wife? Wife being in sickness and his health, and then saying something else, which is just all part of the good dialogue scene.
Yeah.
But Barbossa saying, "As captain of the ship, I now was it command you, bless you,
pronounce you."
Yeah. No, pronounce you. As my wife. You may kiss, and then he's interrupted. He says again, "You may kiss." He's interrupted. Just kiss. And I just like the whole inclusion of the music. It's like bombastic, and then it's getting louder and it's getting more epic, and then it swallows to beauty and emotion, and then even Rigeshi and Patel are looking. It's like, oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, they're happy for the visual. Yeah,
let's take Jack the Monkey and fire him out of a cannon because he's still technically cursed.
Oh yeah, the fact that the Ilda de Muerte sunk. Jack the Monkey is never not being cursed. No. He's going to be a forever alive monkey.
Yeah. I know we're talking about the battle, but there is this one moment where Elizabeth gave her speech about Calypso might not be with us, but she
inspires everyone as the pirate king. She does inspire everyone,
and I love the very many different pirates raising their flags, and they all have their like little various colours of the flags, and they're raising them, and the music is playing. But then when it cuts to the Black Pearl crew raising their own flag, and it's like, yeah, they're the main ship, they're the ones we're rooting for, they're taking charge, and it's like everyone's in on board, everyone's giving it their all. I just like seeing that on screen, like momentum. You know, we're in this race now to this last march. You know, I don't think these movies get enough credit.
They don't. I think that it's a solid trilogy.
It is. I recall you placing it as one of my favorites, one of my top 3 favorite trilogies. It's fucking good.
So yeah, it's like, we have obviously like we said there, the emotional and then the climactic battle all taking place at the same time. But then, even though what we think, and I think we should know this as like being literate when it comes to movies, is that like anytime you have someone have something like this where they have a wedding, or you always see it in movies,
an emotional development.
An emotional development right before the end is that one of the characters is going to die, because you always get it in like anytime that two characters are building up for a big battle. And one character goes, we'll talk about this when we get back. It's like, well, one of you is not coming back then. Probably both he is. But like it's just a bit of a trope. So we should have seen it coming when it comes to Jack and Will, or not Jack and Will, Will and Elizabeth. But yeah, I wanted to talk about, because we mentioned it ever so slightly earlier, Will's death.
The death of Will Turner.
The death of Will Turner. And
this is Han Solo dying in Return of the Jedi, if it were to happen. This is the death of Ron Weasley if he did die in any of the later Harry Potter books. This this has consequences.
This is like, oh my god, they've killed Will. And not only that, but what I think I love so much, not that I love that Will is killed, but the fact that he's killed by his own sword. The sword that he made for Norrington at the beginning of the first film, Davy Jones uses that to stab Will.
Yeah.
And it's that sword that brings Will into the Pirates of the Caribbean world. It's like, it's Will's introduction. I know obviously his introduction as a kid, but Orlando Bloom, Will Turner, right? He's introduced into the Pirates of the Caribbean trilogy with the scene with that sword. And that's the thing that takes him out of it. It's something that once that scene is over, he no longer has that sword. It's not something that he's carried with him entirely throughout the trilogy, but it is still the thing that takes him out. And I just find it so interesting. It's so cool that something so minor for that character, like when that first movie came out, that wasn't the intended thing. It's like, oh, here you are, the first time we see Orlando Bloom in this trilogy, he is holding the thing that will kill him 2 movies later.
Gore Verbinski has better foresight than George Lucas.
Yeah, well,
it's true.
Yeah,
it is true. He didn't know Luke and Leia were going to be brother and sister by the second, later 5th movie.
Yeah,
but it's true. Yeah, it still gets me.
It does.
The death of Jack Sparrow still gets me, and just like that here, the death of Will Turner gets me here, because we've gone through the battle. We've had our laughs. We've had our dual fights.
Yeah, get like you get Will and Elizabeth and Barbossa, and they're all fighting all of the crew, the damn crew, and also the East India Trading Company are there. It's all this big, huge battle that's going on. But then you also get the classic, which we didn't get in the last movie, is Jack and Davy Jones.
The hero and the villain.
Yeah, they're having their battle. They're having it on top of the mast, on the sail.
Of all places you could have it, right? It's not like a lava island or anything like that. But it is like the top of that like sail. So yeah, and I liked how they sort of square off against each other, as if they were both unprepared and unplanned. Like it's Jones coming after Jack, and he can't be playing Spider-Man anymore, which is quite a common thing he does in these movies.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Jack can just grab onto a rope, hit the thing next to him, and he'll go flying off somewhere. It's like his superpower that just always works now.
Yeah,
but I like the two start fighting, then the folks get married, and then we come back to the scene. I remember my brother saying, these two still fighting. But
your brother can say nothing, okay?
Yeah.
What do you mean, are these two still fighting? Sure, he's only seen 5 minutes of the film before. This is the first 10 minutes for him.
You're like, we're talking about consequences, and I know the death of Will Turner, and we'll go back to it. But Jack slices off Davy Jones like
one of his tentacles,
of his tentacles on his mustache, and that fucking hurt. And the scream he goes, and then Jones cracks his sword. He breaks it in like to a little like stabby knife, and then Jack punches Davy Jones with the chest. That blunt has got to hurt. Like that, imagine getting hit with
blunt force trauma.
It
Absolutely,
is blunt.
Yeah.
That's more sore than like being stabbed. Like with a little like
yeah.
Like he's just more of an annoyance now at this point, because in seeing Jones shout no, thinking he'll lose the chest, he grabs onto it, and he's in fear now. We see the villain almost have a bit of fear factor into him.
I think it's because he's so close to the end.
Yeah,
like the East India Trading Company is not on the ship. He's killed Mercer. He has his heart.
He's so close.
He has not had his heart. He has the key and he has the heart.
He's so close to being to claiming all the power and glory he once had in the last movie.
Yeah.
I like that one by Will boards the Dutchman, and Jack kind of saves Will indirectly by being blasted into the hammerhead guy, and then Elizabeth goes as well while Gibbs and Cotton and the crew are trying to aim a cannon towards the top of their ship to separate the
the two of them. Yeah.
Because when the two ships like collide together in the whirlpool, like it's such a great visual. Imagine creating the storyboards and thinking, I can't wait to shoot this.
Yeah.
I can't wait to bring this to life. Like it is such a great thing to see, but it's great visual as well. And I know this is after the like battle where Will has temporarily disarmed his father, and his father keeps fighting him.
Yeah.
And he promises to save him. Elizabeth faces up the courage against Davy Jones. You know, she fights him, and Jack, you know, he's had a few funny moments where Jones scares him with his tentacles, and Jack screaming at a few points is like, oh, I didn't know Johnny Depp was capable of pulling off something like that. But he was knocked out and he sees his tentacle moving away with the key. But I really like this specific visual shot. It's when they do fire the cannon and it separates the two ships. The Black Pearls steers the ship back up, and the Dutchman goes down. And the shot of the Dutchman, because it's now just uncommanded and there's no control of it, it's just sinking to the bottom. It's like the Flying Dutchman. This ship that's capable of traversing the sea and below it is now
At the mercy of the sea.
Yeah, I just like that shot because it's like the Dutch angle aspect of it as well. But yeah, all the power all the power Jack Sparrow had in his hand holding the heart. Saying, because this is when Jones sees that Will and Elizabeth are in love. Do you fear death? And Jack says, "Do you?" And genuinely, do you fear death?
I have it in my hands now. You could not be closer to death.
Yeah. And Jones.
What Jones does is cruel.
Sly bastard.
Yeah. He Diadalma says it earlier. It's like, you were never cruel, Davy Jones. But like, this is cruel.
He is being cruel.
It's like, if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna fuck these two up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take him away from her.
And he just starts laughing. Like, what was his end goal?
His end goal was to cause pain. That's all it was. And so he was cruel in that moment.
But then Jack hesitated.
It's like, Jack, he knows what he has to do, but as soon as Will is stabbed, it's like, oh crap, like he does hesitate, and it's like, what is the right thing to do? And he gives up his immortality. He had resigned himself that he will become, that's his plan essentially for the third movie. He's like, I will become the captain of the Flying Dutchman, the immortal Jack Sparrow, and he gives that up for Will, someone who has double crossed him and he has double crossed, and multiple times throughout these three films, and someone who they would not consider, I genuinely would not consider them friends, because like, they're the main characters, absolutely, and I love seeing them together, but they're not friends with each other.
No, not at all.
But yet he gives up.
Good on them for committing that throughout.
Yeah, and he gives up his immortal life to give him an opportunity to live, even if it's
I love the shot where the knife goes through the heart.
Yeah, and it backs up, and we see it was Will that did it.
Yeah, but Jack helped Will. He got Will to do it.
Yeah.
Like, I remember seeing that in the cinema. Like, that was so powerful. It's like they all did it together.
Yeah,
you know,
all of them together. Yeah, and I like the fact that we get off the ship, and it's the crew that come over, and they are the ones that do it, but we don't see any kind of like putting Will's heart into the chest.
This is after Davy Jones's instinctual reaction to dying. His like tentacles like react like he was having a stroke.
He dies and he goes back to the sea, and his last words are Calypso.
Yeah.
And I think that's like, it's just really interesting that he's like, his heart has been stabbed, but yeah, he's finally like embracing his love almost. It's interesting. He's going back to the sea.
I love his death.
Yeah.
I love he falls off.
It's a satisfying death.
It is satisfying, but it's almost like it's earned. You've earned this death.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for all your cruelty.
Yeah. But you've earned it in the sense that you do you've earned it. You know, you're owed it, but you've earned it. And we know Will Turner does not die. But it's still treated as a death scene because Will does die in Elizabeth's hands, and Jack sees the crewmen start gathering together, like bootstrap
He
gathering.
knows what's to come, yeah.
And Jack starts pulling Elizabeth away. How many times has Jack now saved Elizabeth? And he's playing the hero, but he's not. He's playing the modest hero, saying hold on, and he casts himself and Elizabeth away. And even Jack the monkey escapes with him as well, which is just
thank
nice.
God.
Like, good goodness. But the look of them looking down at the ship, at the Flying Dutchman sinking into the water, and I love the part where the crewmen start walking towards Will as his dead body, and he's holding a knife, and all the crew are saying part of the crew, part of the ship, and like this one guy's holding the chest as if they're lost children now, desperate.
They need a captain.
They need a captain, and I really see the desperateness in their little stationary positions of just holding the chest, like chest open, ready for it, quickly. Because they do appear like lost souls, lost, unguided misfortunes. And like, the Dutchman must have a captain. And then he stabs. He just stabs. And then off screen. Bear in mind, this is like the first 10 minutes for me watching this movie.
This is the first 10 minutes for you? Yeah. That's so funny.
So hits home when I say, I wonder who the next villain is.
The next villain's going to be. It's going to be Will Turner. He's Davy Jones.
What's going on here? But... yeah, they dispatched the main villain from the second movie, who was not the main villain in this movie.
Yeah.
And we still have the main villain to go through in this movie.
I do like the fact that because we get the big battle between Davy Jones.
He is the physical force of the battle.
Yeah, that once the Dutchman comes back and Will is at the helm and he is now the captain of the Flying Dutchman.
A somehow more attractive Orlando Bloom.
Yeah, but he's got the shirt open.
He's got the scar. He's got the bandana on his head.
Guy, yeah.
Don't know how the hell he's got the bandana there for.
Don't know. Yeah, listen, movie magic.
I also love the fact that all the like aquatic features on the
Dutchman as well as the crew.
It just starts to melt off.
Yeah, I do like that.
Fresh start, and then all the guys are they're human again to the point that. I don't know who was who anymore.
Yeah.
But we do know, obviously, Stellan Skarsgård. He pulls the starfish off his face. Like that's just a great visual as well.
But I like the fact that we go straight into the fight between Beckett. That like Beckett thinks it's Davy Jones. And it's like, the Dutchman is back now, and no, it's not the Dutchman as you know it. And like he is positioned in he's in a way that he's completely disadvantaged.
He's piggy in the middle in this now.
Yeah, and just absolutely destroyed by the Dutchman and the Pearl. And it's like, it's actually a great death sequence as well, where he walks down the stairs
and the banister behind him
explodes behind him. It's almost as if the banister knows where he's stepping so that he can make it to the bottom of the steps before,
just in time to allow him to stand into the middle of the nothingness. His death is so cinematic that it kind of defeats the in-world magic, because he walks the whole debris of the destruction of his ship becomes debris and smoke, that it looks like he's standing in nothing.
Yeah.
Like, how is he still standing on a floorboard?
Yeah, well, we've gone through the whole big climax with Davy Jones that you don't need to finish that battle, and it's like, okay, now we're going to go into another battle.
No,
just that quick.
It's a proper defeat. But sure, he was always the brains of the foe. You know, like
you have the physical, and then you have the intellectual bad guys,
and that's what he is. And they always do say the intellectual is the more powerful one.
Absolutely, yeah.
And
it's brain versus brawn.
Exactly. I do love it here, but why do you make of the fact that he doesn't fire back? I think it's because he was so shocked at the apparent
betrayal.
Not the betrayal, the defeat of simply losing command of the Dutchman and seeing that the Pearl appears to be stronger than ever because it just defeated Davy Jones.
I think it's more of a, like, Beckett is a man who should be behind a desk, who has found himself at the front lines, and like, just even though he has that,
just like Governor Swan.
Yeah, it's just like he's he's at a disadvantaged position and he just gets like stage fright almost, and he's like, oh what do I do, and he just can't. He's kind of nearly running through all the calculations in his head, but he's going through them so quick, but yet he can't go through them quick enough to actually just say yes, fire back, you know.
You can always read about how to do something
Exactly.
until you actually do it yourself.
Yeah, it's completely different to I know how to do this, but actually putting it into practice is
The
another thing
guy
altogether.
seems to have educated himself on everything to do with pirate lore. Like, even knowing what the song being sung at the start meant.
Mm-hmm.
The guy educated himself, but he never practiced it.
Yeah,
It's a great...
the opposite to Elizabeth.
It is the opposite, because he couldn't embrace it.
You know what?
What?
Maybe I've just made a connection.
What's that?
Beckett is the opposite to Elizabeth.
Yeah?
Davy Jones is the opposite to Will Turner, and Barbossa is the opposite to Captain Jack.
How so? Oh, by the way, you somewhat made that connection with those three meeting together. Because it cuts to, now obviously it cuts to Davy Jones to Jack, because they're the sworn enemies in this movie. But
Yeah.
Beckett to Elizabeth.
I feel as though they're kind of nearly opposites. Obviously, Will Turner becomes Davy Jones.
Oh yeah, but it's like explain yourself.
It's just that they all have those connections. It feels like that Jack and Barbossa are linked. Maybe it's just more so that they're linked together in those certain ways.
Yeah.
Davy Jones and Will are connected.
Yeah.
Jack and Barbossa are always connected. They're connected through all 5 films.
Pretty much.
And then Beckett and Elizabeth are like the antithesis of each other. That they both are well read on pirate lore.
Yeah.
And Elizabeth is able to put it into practice, but Beckett isn't. But that should be the opposite. It should be the woman. You know, in these times, it should be the woman that is prim and proper.
That's inferior.
Yeah, and shouldn't be able to do these things, and yet she's the pirate king. And then
Yeah.
this guy couldn't even fire a cannon on his ship.
She said she'll kill him.
Yeah. I just think that was something that came up.
Well done. You've
Gold
earned
star.
it. Gold star. The gold star belongs to you, David.
Thanks, man.
Great finale. 3 movies in, great finale is, and your chariot awaits. The oars are inside. I like that Elizabeth has something of a goodbye with nearly everyone. Something of a goodbye with Barbossa. The 2 lads say farewell, Poppet, and Elizabeth goes to Jack and says, "It never would have worked out between us." Like, she says that back to him when he said it to her in the first movie, and she goes to kiss him anyway. She goes to kiss him and says, "One's quite enough." I like that he's
learned his lesson. He's not going to do it again. Yeah.
God knows how long Elizabeth and Will were on that beach.
Well, at least a day, but who knows how many times
however
they
long
fucked.
of a day, I guess. But sexiest leg ever, probably. Sexiest entrance of a leg.
I disagree.
Who? Callisto?
No, I would say Cameron Diaz in The Mask.
I haven't seen The Mask in forever.
Well, it is. If you ever hear of anyone say the male gaze, that is 100% the male gaze in 20 seconds of film.
20 seconds. Okay. Well,
It is an absolutely stunning character introduction, but it is fully done for the male audience.
Oh, okay. Well, this leg here is done for the male audience.
That one too. I would give it the second best.
But
Absolutely.
they make it so that it's beautiful because they have to say goodbye now.
Yeah.
Will and Elizabeth.
Heartbreaking.
It's very heartbreaking, of course. See you in 10 years.
Davy Jones has torn them apart, but at least they do have the consolation of that they can see each other once every 10
Oh yeah,
years.
he knocked her up.
Yeah.
He did.
He did. You're right. You're absolutely right.
We have the results in not the next movie, but the movie after that.
We have the results in the post-credit scene.
We do. Yep. We do.
Yeah.
It's funny. But yeah, I still only see these movies as like a trilogy. And leave it
and
at
you know
that.
what? If anyone said to me, "Oh, I've only seen the 3 Pirates of the Caribbean movies," I would say there are only 3 Pirates of the Caribbean movies.
well,
Like, I'm perfectly fine with just watching these 3.
Yeah, if you're desperate, you can watch the next ones, but like they're inferior.
They're like extra supplementary material that no one is
They're excess.
extra credit.
Yeah. How did she get off the beach? And where does Will Turner go to get back to the Dutchman? Because it's like it cuts away.
It's a boat with the oars.
Okay. She's in the middle of the ocean.
How do you know that? No, she's at Port Royal.
Is she?
Yeah.
You sure?
I was under the impression they were at Port Royal.
I wasn't convinced. I just thought it was a nearby beach. Okay. Jack's back at Tortuga.
Yeah. I like the fact that Jack at the end of this trilogy is essentially in the exact same position as he was at the beginning of the trilogy.
Like, as if he just didn't go through the 3-movie ordeal that
Yeah.
he went through, you know.
He has the rum, he has the map, and he's in his little dinghy.
Yeah, you know, after getting his revenge and reclaiming his ship and then fearing for his life.
Defeating the Kraken, like surviving the Kraken,
and saving
coming back from the dead, defeating Davy Jones.
And saving piracy in its essence.
Yeah.
He is left with nothing again. I wonder if Barbossa specifically left him that boat there. Just I'll not let him too defeated, but he still took the. What a prick!
Yeah, he is.
He is a prick.
Absolutely.
And you know what? Everyone else have a prick for staying with him as well.
You know what? We're going against the crew. We've been praising them now, but now we're like, fuck you guys.
I wonder if someone knocked out Gibbs or if he just collapsed and he.
Oh, he was drunk, was he not?
He was drunk, but like, how did he? Why was he lying down on the floorboard of the?
He was so drunk they could have moved him. 100%. They
Maybe.
Barbossa knew if Gibbs was on the ship, he was always going to be loyal to Jack.
Oh yeah, sure. That's why he's in the next movies.
Yeah.
The only thing we never mentioned in these movies, I don't think, was the slapping.
Oh, the slapping that everyone gets.
Jack gets a slap between one girl. Not sure I deserve that. He gets one from another girl. Says I deserve that. Mm-hmm. And then Zoe Saldana slaps him as well. Mm-hmm. And then Will takes a slap in Jack's behalf. Mm-hmm. And then Jack gets a double whammy slap between these two girls, rightfully deserved, because he's after uttering every insult on earth. And then he returns one by slapping Gibbs, and Gibbs takes it on the chin. He's like, fair enough.
Yeah. And I do like the fact that they're still best mates.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, what is it they say? Like, take what you can and give nothing back. They give a fist bump, and the two girls that are walking off, Gibbs goes up and starts to chat them up, and it's like, yeah, well, like, work away, pal. Like,
yeah,
they're still besties.
I do like that. And then, you know, the first of all, right, the two Navy men who keep getting distracted by getting into like a conversation with each other, failing to realizing that Jack had just one-upped them by effortlessly,
just letting them talk,
them talk, and you know, he passes them by to walk on the ship, and that was in the first movie. And this movie, he takes a chance without them realizing it. And then the two of them, they abandon the Dutchman to go into the back pearl, and then they come up up on deck wearing like pirate clothes,
yeah.
And then the two of them just start raving in the cheer of achievement, and they're going, yeah, shiver me timbers, and as if they're pretending to be pirates. They have a perception of what pirates are.
It's
and
like they've read it in the books as well.
Yeah, but like this is how we, you know, fake it till we make it. And then Rigetti and Pentel looking at them like, were you guys always there?
Yeah.
You know,
the same way that the others thought of Pinchel and Rigetti
Yeah.
in the second movie. It's like, have you guys always been here?
Yeah,
Of course,
It's like Pintel and Rigetti are like at the bottom of the tier in terms of favoritism, inclusion, popularity, importance, significance. Those two guys, Murtaugh and Mulroy.
Oh, you learned their names.
I learned their names.
Fair play. They're now slightly under.
They're under Rigetti and Pentel. It's like they'll get them to scrub the decks and do their laundry and shit like that.
Yeah, they're rowing the boats from now on.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? I like that. I like that a lot. I really do. But yeah, you daddy's boy, this little monkey. It's nice. I just like that. Like, that's Jeffrey Rush acting with a monkey.
I like the fact that they're off. There's one, like, Barbossa is still after immortality. Like, there's one more way. There's other ways to live forever.
Yeah.
You know, not just cursed Aztec gold. And they pull out the map, and guess what?
Yeah.
Jack has cut out the map and has taken it, and Jack gets his one final one-upsmanship on Barbossa.
Yeah, he does one up him. He takes a shit, but Jack ends somewhat of a winner. In this movie, you know, and should always be the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, the yo ho, the fire's life for me. Jack singing that.
Drink up me hearties, yo ho.
Yeah, exactly how he started off in the first movie is how he ends in this movie. It is quite fitting, and to think of this movie as this is the last time we ever see these characters, it feels like you can treat it as such. Now, yeah, you're teasing the Fountain of Youth, and you're seeing Cuba, but you know, there's always the next adventure out there.
Yeah,
and I'm happy to keep it like that. What does Jack want most? Behind him, rum. What does he want next?
Yeah, and you know what? I'm glad that finally Jack has he can use his compass again.
Yeah,
like he just wants the rum.
And then he goes off to what does he want next? He doesn't know. He'll find out.
Yeah.
And then great grand music playing, and then that's the end of the Pirates of the Caribbean. That's the end of us talking about it.
That's it, man. I'm glad we got to do this. It's not often we get to do full trilogies. So we got a lovely week here, or 3-week period where we could talk about
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Pirates of the Caribbean. And
I can't wait now in 30 years' time when we get the Legacy sequel and we're following a new band of a new batch of characters, a new trio.
yeah,
And the movie will include Will Turner being separated from Elizabeth, and Elizabeth is a general now, a lead and a resistance against the
And
new
Jack is on.
the new Navy men, and that Legacy sequel will end with the new protagonist finding Jack on the edge of the cliff, probably Skellig Island, and he's wearing his robe.
all right, Brian, we get it.
And he's got his robe at hand, and
Yep.
he's handed his
We
compass.
all know Star Trek. Yes, we know. Yeah,
What?
Star Trek? We all know it. Yeah.
Star Trek.
Yeah, that's the joke.
What are you
That's the
talking
joke.
about,
That's
man?
the joke. Listen, Brian, thank you so much for joining me for this episode of Talking Pictures Podcast. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you're subscribed to us on your favorite podcasting app of choice. If you haven't already, make sure that you're following us on all of our social medias. They're down in the links below. We've new episodes every single Wednesday, and we also have another podcast, which is Saturday Morning Cartoon Club. So we've new episodes of that on the last Saturday of every month. So if you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed to us there as well. As I said, it's all in the links down below. This podcast is brought to you by Another Happy Studios, so make sure to check out all the other podcasts on the network. That includes Still Got Legs, Another Happy Pod, Fishing Trip Files, Unfinished Film Thoughts, a lot of them, all great podcasts, well worth a listen. Brian, any final words before we let these people go?
Have you got any recommendations?
Save it for next week.
Save it for next
Sorry.
week. No, because I was going to recommend, because we've been recommending the next Pirates of the Caribbean movie.
No, I wouldn't recommend the next Pirates of the Caribbean.
That's why I was going to recommend the first one. To go back
okay,
around
well,
again.
yeah, okay.
No, it's too late now.
No. Brian, any final words before we let these people go?
No.
I want to recommend the final.
I don't know how to end this now.
I'll do any final words before we let these people go, and then you say one last thing that's funny, and then we'll end it. Brian, any final words before we let these people go?
Are you busting to go to the toilet?
I am actually dying. I think that we've had the movie on as we've been talking about it. It's at the end. Jack Sparrow is literally holding the knife in the knife and the heart in Davy Jones's hands. Like, how have we talked the entire length of the movie? This is probably where you came in and started watching it as a kid.
No, it was about 10 minutes before.
10 minutes before.
Yeah,
That's okay.
pretty much. Yeah.
Thanks, Brian.
Thanks, David.